Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles did not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of United States copyright law states material and use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
Se ve tan mal cuando miras a otro lado, los fantasmas del pasado no se detendrán hasta verte derrumbado. Peores lo hemos pasado. Andaba a golpes con la tristeza, me aportó riqueza, me otorgó sabiduría, pues se dibujaba en todas mis piezas. Yo con alegría le daba color después. La aguja sigue girando, tiempo parece burlar de mí. Dijo que sanaría esperando, pero creo que la espina aún sigue ahí. Con los dedos lo voy palpando. Cierro los puños, escapa de aquí. Agonizando, no me espera el tiempo, no voy a esperar por ti.
Nuestras huellas en la orilla se han borrado por la marea. Si esas estrellas ya no brillan, las entiendo pa' que veas. Sea donde sea, bajo la tormenta o dentro de la odisea, donde arañas cubren el cielo de tela, los aviones nadan y los barcos vuelan. Aunque parezca que va bien, no sabes bien si va mal. Besos que pueden doler, ojos que pueden matar. Tengo mi alma en el almacén encerrada, mi corazón está en huelga, mis sentimientos en ámbar. Gente, Calamala dijo que estaría presente. Fallaron como nunca, se fueron para siempre. Millones de razones para vengarme, pero a veces duele más actuar indiferente.
Como no quieren ver ahogados, tenemos branquias y cerrados los bronquios como la mente de un guardia. Yo soy la montaña y vine con la cordillera. Más cojones que tu ganga tiene una madre soltera. Tú cúbrete si suena mi tu. A mi lado tengo soldados fumando de su palulú. Y un conjuro de grimorio me lo salva del velorio. Pa' tener pila valorio, se matan vestidos de emporio. Y yo no quiero una pistola, estoy soñando que la vida que quería me llega a tiempo. Desde que yo la vi sola, loco ando. Vino a verme cuando el sol se estaba poniendo. Y se dejó una pluma y se perdió en la bruma. Nunca se despidió de mí, nunca se despidió de mí.
Vivo en un mundo que parece roto y sé que no, porque todo es perfecto y lo debo plasmar. Me fumo un troco lo tras otro y lo ayudar. Mi gente sufre y no lo puedo evitar, más que dándole consejos siempre desde la humildad. Es su camino hacia la fraternidad. Solo puedo que enseñarles a respetar y amar. Con esta bendición, como no voy a aprovechar los códigos que llegan, los tenemos que aceptar. Si me reencarné fue para ayudar y no para malgastar mi tiempo en beneficio del mal. En la unión nace la fuerza y eso nos hace juntar las ganas que siempre tuvimos para iluminar a la gente que se le ocurra y la malla armonizar. Vinimos para dar fuego a la que no nos va a quemar. Oh.
Arda y por dentro la llama, no puedo contener la ras. Churruscao el corazón, el armazón no puede llegar a pesarme más. Si abro la boca, tu tumba al suelo, me muelo a diario y sobrado de gas. Escupo ristas perfectas, paladas de versos eternos, no mueren jamás. Cuando acabe mi condena, me vi muy solo y perdido. Cada vez más negra la flema, más elegante el problema, pero planté cara a todos mis enemigos. Recuperé las ganas, las fuerzas y el garbo. Dedico requiems a mis diablos, que aquí estoy vivo de milagro. Delicadas flores crecieron entre los cardos. Me dicen vienes más delgado que de costumbre. Será de tanto que he bailado en el alambre, que a tanta pena es mejor no ponerle nombre. Llevamos la música en vena, nuestra sangre.
Declaraciones.
Estamos aquí, oye, que estamos aquí. Mírame, estamos aquí. Desde hace rato, cuando ustedes llegaron, ya estaban las huellas de nuestros zapatos. Se robaron hasta la comida de gato y todavía se están lamiendo el plato. Bien encabronados con estos ingratos. Hoy le doy duro a los tambores hasta que me acusen de maltrato. Si no entiendes el dato, pues te lo tiro en cumbia, bossa nova, tango o vallenato. A lo calaboy y bambú, bien frontú, con sangre caliente como Timbuktu. Estamos dentro del menú. Tupac se llama Tupac por Tupac Amaru del Perú. América no es solo USA, papá. Esto es desde Tierra del Fuego hasta Canadá. Hay que ser bien bruto, bien hueco. Es como decir que África es solo Marruecos. Estos canallas se les olvidó que el calendario que usan se lo inventaron los mayas con la Valdivia precolombina. Desde hace tiempo, este continente camina, pero ni con toda la marina pueden sacar de la vitrina la peste campesina. Esto va para el capataz de la empresa. El machete no es solo para cortar caña, también es para cortar cabeza.
Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te recuerde. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te recuerde. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. 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 Te muerde, te muerde.
Los paramilitares, las guerrillas, los hijos del conflicto, las pandillas, las listas negras, los falsos positivos, los periodistas asesinados, los desaparecidos, los narcogobiernos, todos los que robaron, los que se manifiestan y los que se olvidaron, las persecuciones, los golpes de estado, el país en quiebra, los exiliados, el peso devaluado, el tráfico de droga, los carteles, las invasiones, los emigrantes sin papeles, 5 presidentes en 11 días, disparo a quemarropa por parte de la policía, más de 100 años de tortura, la nova trova cantando en plena dictadura. Somos la sangre que sopla la presión atmosférica. Gambino, mi hermano, esto sí es América.
Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te recuerde. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te recuerde. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. Si quieres mi machete te muerde.
autor viene a decirnos con mucha firmeza y gran convencimiento lo mismo que nos decía en el siglo XVIII el barón de Holbach, ¿no? Un filósofo francés de origen alemán. Si nos remontamos al comienzo, entonces hallaremos que la ignorancia y el temor crearon a los dioses. La fantasía, el entusiasmo o el engaño los adornaron o desfiguraron. La debilidad les rinde culto, la credulidad los conserva, la costumbre los respeta y la tiranía los apoya para que la ceguera de los hombres sirva a sus propios intereses.
Justin, 1, 2, 3. Justin. Oh, shit. Right, man. We're back at it again. Family, please I never say this, and I usually forget, but please like, share. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. It does tell me that a lot of you guys watch the channel, but don't subscribe. Unity is here. All right. Well, some of us, I remember talking to a couple of brothers that have been, involved in this for quite some time. We were wondering, like, when is this going to be the time where, our people start paying attention? And, thanks to envy of other nations, I think it has begun. So, if in case you guys are new to this channel and you heard about me from yesterday's live on Sonny's channel, rest assured, I'm gonna share that video. Now, for you brothers that don't know who this brother is, let me express to you who this brother is. His name is Sonny, and he has a channel called "The Streets Ain't Loyal." Okay, so please go subscribe, post, make comments, like, share. It's a different genre, which I totally respect. It's more of a gathering together of our brothers and sisters, right? So he, like we say, hey, shalom, sis, good to have you here. Oh, my bad. Hold on. Let me say what's up to Brother Ray. What's up, Brother Ray? Good to have you here too, bro. So he me brindó la oportunidad to share on his channel, and hopefully we can do it again. It was more of a like freestyle. I want, now that he has StreamYard, now we'll be able to show, like what I do here. And there's going to be a couple topics we're going to talk about. We're still planning on it. So once again, please subscribe to his channel. The brother, he's a good dude, bro. Like I could tell. I don't know him personally like that. But that's one thing about growing up in the hood, bro. Like you're good at discernment. Like how people are. You can sense by their spirit, bro. Like it's just you're kind of forced to do that, Growing up in a chaotic. I grew up in the late 80s, early 90s, right there in Pozole Town. Oceanside. So you can just imagine how fucking crazy it was for me. Them pozoleros were nuts. Anyways, now on this video, he invited me over. I think I go about an hour, so I'm basically just going to share that with you because he goes for a while. Other brothers show up to his channel, but right around here is where we stop. All right, so I'm going to share with you what we talked about. What the plans are. You know what I'm saying, and then also, if I can, I will bring out material that can pretty much, support the statements that I was making. Okay. So by all means, please share this information, put it on Facebook, man. Our gente needs to learn and know exactly who we are. This has been going on for too long. Unity is here now. The separation begun a long time ago. They made sure to separate us as individuals, as family, as head of household. We never, unlike what it used to be, where we would come to our elders and ask for advice, just like the scriptures talk about enterprise. You have an idea, you want to share it with your elder because they have experience. No. The Spaniards made sure to get rid of that. They said, as long as we keep them with the individual mentality, we'll be able to conquer them. Why? Because they are like that. That is their spirit, and it's not ours. So let's check it out, fam. I hope you enjoy it. All right. Again, his channel is called Streets Ain't Loyal. Please go check him out and subscribe. All right. Let's go.
Trevor's family. That's right, homie. All right, here we go. We got a little guest here.
Yo.
Cracking, homie.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Oh, man, that's good, brother. How you doing? How you doing this evening? Hey, good to have you, bro. He's gonna have to fix his earphones right there. Hold on, give him some time. So just so you guys know, I was on his channel yesterday. We're gonna try to collaborate together on topic, like a more formal approach, not freestyle. It was just trying. I was kind of didn't want to be there that long, to be honest. But then you know how it is. I start talking, and then you can't stop me. I mean, everybody knows that in my family. I think you brothers know that too. You know who I talk to and shit. But he's Spencer. I'm the last one out of 10, so as you can see why this occurred. You needed to say their shit or else nobody would hear you. You know what I'm saying? So now he's gonna put it on. All right, cool. So let's begin. All right, let's go. This happened last week.
Just a second.
Somebody post on the chat that he may have me muted.
Let's see if we can do it this way. Hold on just a second.
Simon.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
I can hear. I've been hearing you the whole time.
I can hear you, homie.
There you go.
There we go. We got audio. We got audio.
All right, dude.
How you doing, homie?
I'm really good, brother. I'm very good. I'm glad you I'm glad you came on. As a matter of fact, I was chopping it up with Chris earlier about how we, just some ideas, because kind of you and I talked about how as we can present, like we approach the live a certain way, but the audience is the one that lets us know like what they want to hear. So he gave me some really good ideas, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to come on just to say hello, what's up to the chat, to the familia. But I think we definitely could tackle this and the brother was saying 4 or 5 different topics and just kind of fly on that.
Well, the one we did talk about, I don't know if you mind if I tell them what we want to talk about.
No. I mean, no, it was nothing personal like crazy. It's all good.
No. La Llorona. He's going to go over the story La Llorona and what it means and how it references our people.
Yeah. It's because, there was a lot of mythology behind it. I don't want to say some people, but I guess you could say, there was people that told us that Llorona was this, or Llorona was that, yada, yada, yada. But when you look into the actual history, I mean, there's one story of the Llorona that really blew my mind because of the fact that it was talking about a woman that was crying or weeping for her children, but not because she had killed them, but because she knew that destruction was about to happen. So in all the land of the Mexicas, you could hear the voice of, like in that Nahuatl language, her saying, mis hijos, something to that effect. Matter of fact, I did a live earlier today, and I had brought that up too. I have the book. Hold on, let me see if I can. I hope it doesn't come off. Hold on. Let me see. It's called And again, you know, it's good to do a live when they can see this book, but it's called La Llorona, a spirit unable to rest, and in parentheses, un anima que no descansa, by Neftali de Leon, or Neftali de Leon. So
Okay.
that's just one example of like where that story. Now, why is it important too? And again, you know, I don't want to get too deep into it because, you know, like I told you, it'd be good to kind of just so people can see it. I like to show people, you know, because there's one thing talking about it, but if gente can see it, then
Yeah.
So for the chat, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I was referencing, I mean, primarily this book, right? And you can see what I'm talking about. In this book here, it's like La Llorona, a spirit unable to rest. It's in English, so that's a good part, right? And it's basically going over the different ideas of what the Llorona stood for. Now, I will tell you this, family. Our people named themselves after their leader. So we named ourselves Mexicas because our leader was considered Mexitli. So technically, the word itself has a Hebrew Arabic origin, and it means anointed. Now, and again, I'm not trying to you know, make you believe something that's not true. What I'm going to be very clear on is there's a very thin line between what they're making you believe, that what they want you to believe, compared to what the truth is. Okay, so we understand as native indigenous people, motherland, right? Mother Earth. We get that concept. Some of them call it turtle lands, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that it was an actual mother, you know. However, when we say motherland, that means this land gave us birth. All right. So when the history of the Llorona came about, we were told it was some lady that killed her kids. No, that's not true. The true history is that the Llorona was about Mother Earth crying about her children who would soon be destroyed. Okay. Now, there is several books that specifically reference or mention that our people have mentioned. I'm sorry. There's several books that our people are like in there. They take accounts of what occurred, and a lot of our gente knew that this was going to happen, the destruction. Right? Sagahun wrote about it. That writer Motalina, which I showed you guys the other day, wrote about it as well. So that's where I was trying to reference. This is the book that I'm talking about. Okay. So this is just a sample. So you know what I mean? Like I actually have the book, but it's a good a point of reference. All right, it's a good point of reference, and I want you to remind yourselves that if they understood that we had that spiritual connection to quote unquote Mother Earth, what better way to manipulate your mind and spirit than by creating a so-called goddess that you can worship, which is what they ended up calling the Virgin Mary. I know that that's heavy on a lot of our brothers and sisters who believe in the Virgin Mary, but I'm going to be the first one to tell you because it's factual, fam. Friar Sumarraga, who showed up here early, who destroyed our history, he gave you the Virgin Mary. The same man that destroyed your history, destroyed your edifices, burned your caciques, got rid of your heritage, did not want you to know nothing about who you were, did not want the world to know about anything about who we were, right? That's the same guy that gave you the Virgin Mary. So you think that he did it for a good cause? No, let's continue. We can rest
It reaches
assured.
a whole different audience.
Right. There's no bullshit. There's no lie. This is not me making it up. I'm not trying to, you know, cause a narrative here. No. Which also, by the way, let me kind of take a step back. This is why the Virgen Maria and that concept of the Mother Earth was so important to us, and how they use that also to confuse us into believing certain things, right? We'll get into that a little more at another time, but the weeping woman or the Llorona, in case our gente doesn't know, the Bible talks about that there was such a thing as a weeping woman that cried for her children. All right, and that right there for you guys to know, because again, I was live on his channel, so I wasn't necessarily prepared to bring all this out. But you could read about the weeping woman, right? In Second Ezra, chapter 10. This is in the Apocrypha. Okay, so you have Old Testament, New Testament, and this is the Apocrypha, the ones in blue. All right. Here you see about a particular woman that is crying for her children. Okay. I think in verse 42, he summarizes it. It says, verse 42, verse 41, thou sawest the woman mourning, and thou beginnest to comfort her, but now seest thou the likeness of the woman no more, meaning she disappeared. But there appeared unto thee a city builded. And whereas she told thee of the death of her son, this is the solution. This woman whom thou sawest in Zion, and whereas she said unto thee, even she whom thou seest as a city builded. Whereas I say, she said unto thee that she had been 30 years barren. Those are the 30 years within where there was no offering made on her, meaning like, destruction of Jerusalem. So in a sense, summarizing that this woman that you saw is basically like Zion, like mother, earth, so to speak. So this weeping woman, no one else has that history but the Hebrews of the Bible. And who else has that history of the Yorona? The weeping woman that cried for her children that they were about to get slaughtered? You MESHIACHAs.
And one extra point, which I actually did bring out earlier today in my class, there was this writer called Mantanillo. God, man. Montanillo, right? And he was writing about our gente regarding like where the name Mexico came from, like all of that stuff, right? And he had written down that our people told him that prior to the 1492, invasion, that our gente was seeing apparitions in the sky. And in case you don't know what apparitions, it's like, like shit, like fucking shit in the sky. Like what the fuck I'm seeing, right? Crazy
Images.
Right? Images. There you go. Thank you, brother. So they were seeing people going to war, like these chariots and horses and all that shit. Well, find it interesting that story was also in the Bible, Second Maccabees, chapter 5, and what they call the Apocrypha. Now, this guy in the early 1500s had written this down that our gente told him that, which is why he related, because most of these historian writers initially in 1492 were Spaniards, historians, predominantly what they would call, quote unquote, and I say it in colmillas, right? Sephardic Jews. So they had an understanding of what this all was talking about. So when we told them these stories, they're like, oh shit, that's that in the Bible. And again, that's why I didn't want to get too deep into it. Pero I think our gente needs to understand that we are very spiritual people, regardless of whether you believe in the Bible or not. We believe in a creator. And I always say, why in the world do Asians, no offense to no nation, but why do Asians know their history? Arabs know their history. People from India know their history. People from Europe know their history. People from Africa predominantly know their history. But for some reason, when these people came here, they made sure to destroy our history, to never look back at it. Why? If we were no threat, why not write about us? You know?
Right. That's a good point. I never thought about that.
Yeah, I'll pause for a little bit, bro.
No, that's cool, homie. Yeah. That's stuff that we do need to hear. I think but I do want to make it interesting for our subscribers. So you know what I mean? Because we got people like RC in my chat. He's not too bright, homie. All he sees is cornbread and purple.
Who's RC?
Subscribers.
Who's RC?
All they see is cornbread and purple, homie. So you know what I mean? We got to make it a little attractive for the class, you know what I mean? And I know, but I do think we need it, you know what I mean?
There's a lot of avenues that I can take this, to be honest, brother. Like, for example, here, I'll share this with you, with gente here on the platform. In case you don't know, there was this old school Lutheran newsletter that they would write every 2 weeks or every month, like a newsletter, like a newspaper and shit, right? They were writing that shit down, right? Here, as a matter of fact, let me pull it up real quick. So every week or so, they would write shit about who they are, whatever their belief is, and whatnot, right? So this now remember, keep in mind that these are newsletters from like 1889, right? Not recently, through up until like maybe 1905, 1906. Okay. So in one of the Lutheran Witness newsletters, what they call it, this was printed in September 7th of 1900. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
mind you, man, look, I'm not trying to make people believe anything other than what they believe, right? Everybody's going to come to their own conclusion. We're all grown-ups. But sometimes you got to, there's a difference between being ignorant or stupid. And I don't want to be stupid no more, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Logic
I
is logic,
understand
bro.
No, I understand that. I'm at that stage of my life.
There you go. So on this page, let me see, it's page 55. And like I bought this, dude, I don't even remember where I found this shit. Pero lo encontré, right? So anyway, let me go with it. It says, Dr. Francis S. Borden relates the following about the first Bible printed in Mexico. Keep in mind this, okay? None of us really have ever heard this before, because I'm going to say something heavy. In the Christian Advocate, it says, the printing press came to Mexico in 1539, right? So that's officially when people are here, after they built some stuff, right? And now they have a printing press, okay? It says, for in that year, there was printed in Mexico, in Spanish, what they called a brief compendium of the Christian doctrine. Now, in case some of you brothers and sisters don't know what that is, there's a book called "The Mysteries, the Mysteries of the Mexican Pyramids." On page 16, it specifically talks about that when these people came here, they only taught us El Credo, Padre Nuestro, Ave Maria, and Diez Mandamientos, and Rosario. Anything outside of that was basically death, okay? And that is what they call the brief compendium, or I'm sorry, a brief compendium of Christian doctrine. It's now this particular friar that brought this type of, doctrine to us, right? Where they limited our knowledge about anything of the Bible. They just say, hey, you can only read this, you can only read that. Outside of that, we'll kick your ass, we'll kill you, okay? It says his name was famous Bishop Fray Juan Zumarraga. Now it says that was just 81 years before the Mayflower brought the first pilgrim to the Plymouth Bay. Now let me pause for a moment to remind the gente, the chat, and all that. This is a Protestant who is criticizing Catholicism, okay? So I need you to understand where this perspective is coming from. So when you're criticizing people, you must bring facts. So he's saying this. He says that was just 81 years before the Mayflower brought the first pilgrim to Plymouth Bay. From 1539 to 1810, when the immortal Hidalgo raised the cry of Mexican independence, that was in officially 1812, right? Or during the 271 years of Spanish rule or misrule in Mexico, Spain not only did not give Mexico a Bible, but sternly prohibited the publication of any part of the sacred scriptures in the language of the Mexican people. That prohibition is still in force with regards to the printing of the Bible in one of 52 different languages and dialects spoken in Mexico today. Now, let me just continue, and it's almost done. The first edition of the Bible in Mexico was printed in Latin and in Spanish in Mexico City between 1831 and 1833. Remember, keep in mind that in 1539 is when the first printing company came, right?
Yeah.
That's 300 something about that from the distance. However, it appears in 25 volumes with an atlas and costs over $200. Now I know you and I remember this, bro, because you're under the me, brother, but I'm almost 50. I still remember the Encyclopedia Britannica. My dad bought that shit, right?
Yeah.
How many
My
volumes
wife
were
has
in
it.
that?
She still has it.
How many were there? They're like 25 books, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right. So now this is in 1831, 1833. They're telling you to buy that shit, and it costs $200. Then that's like $9,000 right now. Do you think people like us can have that fucking money or have that space to have an encyclopedia that expensive?
Hell no.
Right. And it
That's
even
why
says
I didn't understand why my wife bought it. I was like, what doing?
it's you know why that it's probably costumbre. It's just that memory of like the parent, you know, the mom, somebody in her family must have had that. So let me continue. And it says, and the cost over $200, so that it still remained a prohibited book to the great majority of the people. Now, keep in mind that as I'm reading this, let me remind you, this is September 7th, 1900. You mean like 1900. So I look back and say, if we were this insignificant, why are we so dangerous? Why do they limit us from knowledge? Now, I'm going to say this with you. We need to look back a lot at also the history of Pancho Villa and Zapata, because if you look at his history, he really fought a lot more for our gente, because our gente was very illiterate. Now, keep in mind, September 7th, 1900 sounds like nice and dandy and shit. And they might have been printing these Bibles, whatever, even if it wasn't a Bible, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
But the illiteracy rate in 1905 was at 5%, bro. That meant that only 5% of our gente knew how to read and write.
Wow. Well, we got somebody that left a comment for you. The Bible is Black history, the book of Hebrews.
It's a Black history?
That's what he said. The Bible is Black history.
What makes it what makes it a Black history?
I think he's FBA. That's what makes it.
Yeah, well,
the Bible, the Black history, the book of Hebrews.
Hey, keep in mind that, you know, and let me just say this, and very eloquently, I'll say it. I came to your channel to talk about our history, right?
Not Black history.
Right. You are more than welcome to come to my channel and hit the link so then we can debate about it. Because I'm not going to do that on this channel.
You hear that, LA 824, Bryant? You're more than welcome to go to MESHIACHA's Chronicles.
Any day.
Anytime. Hit him up.
Any
day.
Link,
and he will debate you.
And I will also remind you that you're wrong. I'll even throw a name out there. Last time I checked, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are not from Africa. Last time I checked.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
And the link is up here, you guys.
It's right there.
So
it's right there.
The link is up. I pinned it. You can look at it, LA 824 Bryant. And maybe you can learn some history.
I don't like to be boastful, brother, but I'll tell you this. Whatever I talk about is because I'm very confident about it.
No, I believe you, homie. I know Red didn't want nothing to do with you. I know Red was scared.
It would have even been nice to at least be like having him hear him say something like, yeah, I'll debate you. It never happened. That would be cool, but that didn't even happen.
No, he stayed completely away from you. He stayed completely away from me. He didn't want that thunder. But anyhow, that's what really got me into it. So I guess in a way, it was
but let me just say this real quick.
that FBA came into my life because it opened my eyes to that what we have to learn.
Yeah, and you know, hold on, let me stick to the first thought real quick before I forget, because I go through all that running. I want to make it clear that you know, what I was bringing out led me to that example of how even in the about 100 years ago, we still, matter of fact, to be honest, only in the last 100 years we were really able to learn how to read and write. All of us. Okay. You get what I'm saying? So we have to think about that. Now, the reason it led me to this, you know, part about the Lutherans criticizing Catholics was because of the a lot of parts into it. That means that religion had a lot of power over us.
Right.
See, I mean, he missed that. Like, did you not realize what we were forced to learn? Right? And then to top it all off, you know, and I know like the guy's FBA, right? Yeah. To top it all off, it goes back to the main question. If you guys were here originally, then how come you don't know nothing about this? If the Spaniards showed up here and you guys were the first natives, then you should know about El Credo, Padre Nuestro, Ave Maria, Rosario, all of that stuff. You should know about masa, tamarindo, grasshoppers, cilantro. You should know about all of these historical aspects of who those people were. But you see, the people that were here first, they experienced that shit first.
Yeah.
Decimated by Catholics, implemented Christian compendium. And guess what? You can ask anybody that raza knows about that. There's no Mexican out there, Chicano, whatever you want to believe yourself, that does not know about Ave Maria, El Credo, and Padre Nuestro, bro.
Yeah, of course, because it's been brought to us through our grandparents, whether we wanted to hear it or not, from their grandparents and their grandparents to their grandparents. It's trickled through history through us. Even if we didn't want to hear it, we still got to hear it from our grandparents.
Right.
They're still going to tell us.
So what are they saying? That we stole that too from them? Like we.
Well,
so
I personally don't understand why they would even go there. It's like no, this is the way I look at it. It's like you talk so much about us. Everything you bring up is about us. But you're always trying to steal our thunder. And why is that? And some guy talked about, in order to erase history or change history, you have to conquer something to that effect, right? And I was like, well, you don't have to worry about that because nobody wants your history. You don't want your history. That's right. You're trying to steal our history. You know what I mean? And that's why I say I'm glad that I'm able to see it a little bit. You know what I mean? And I'm willing to learn.
Yeah, well, yeah. Sorry, I had to take a quick leak real quick. I mean, in part it also, sorry, man. In part it also has to be part of you. You know, you have to be willing to like, first of all, listen, and then be willing to take the time to read about it. Because look, you know how it is, bro. TikTok, Instagram, anybody can create a history. Anybody can create a narrative. Anybody could look. The reason why this whole stuff happened really was forced by these two little groups. One of them was, what was his fucking name? This like heavy set dude with a big ass face, right? I can't remember his name. All I'm trying to do is make it think, some shit like that. And then this other guy named Curimeo. So they started generating all of these pictures and, you know, concepts and, you know, snippets of ideas of certain books, certain mentionings of black, right? Black.
Yeah.
Based on 1500 concept, which we know black don't necessarily mean African, right? It could mean negro, like as in tu color, you know? And that's where it pretty much started. Now, my channel, I've been saying that this was going to come to fruition, believe it or not, since 2022. And I have people that have been following my channel that can confirm that I was never lying. Now, I had a lot of people, friends of mine, bro, that kind of, I stopped talking to me because I was like, yo, this is not good. But, you know, at least I stuck to my ground and whatever, you know, whatever came out of that, I don't know, but at least I'm not a liar. So when you say to me, hey, listen, you guys are Mongolians, okay, sounds good. I'm not insecure. What does that mean? And when I go search it and I see, hey, wait a minute, that's not us. So then what are you saying? And then I look further back and peel that and I'm like, wait a minute, you're trying to steal a heritage. Hold on a second. Then I peel it more back and I'm like, wait a minute, this is fucking racism. No different than when the Anglo-Saxons showed up and now they're saying that they're the real natives.
Yeah, now they're saying they're the real natives. So we got Black Knight 824 Kobe Bryant. Israel is in Northeast Africa, not Europe.
Who said it was in Europe?
I don't know.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
That always seems like they have their own conversation.
Well, you know what he means. You know what he means by that?
Out of the blue, huh?
This is what he means by that, brother. He means that, you know, I guess since we're bringing this up, that we're white people.
I guess they try to say we simulate to be white.
Let me tell you something. I never was called a gringo in my lifetime, homie.
Well, they
They
bring
get
up.
no benefits from them at all.
Well, they bring up the fact that on our birth certificates it says Caucasians, but back in my day, that's all you were able. You didn't label yourself; the hospital labeled you. So when you were born, when I was born, it would say that I was Caucasian, or black, or Asian. That was it. There was nothing else to put there.
Well,
So that's what they say. That's our excuse for that we're trying to be white.
okay. So let's kind of peel it back a little bit, because he also said that the Bible is African, basically,
Right.
not European, right? Okay. Now, if the Bible was African, then that would mean that so-called African people suffer the curses, correct?
Correct.
That a nation from afar, from the end of the earth, with an eagle, with another language, would come and take them and enslave them and all kinds of shit, right? Eddie, can you please hold on a second? Can you please give me a second?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, my daughter's here. Come on, Mama, just because there's a lot of background noise. Go with it, please.
So, you guys, I do appreciate him
All right.
coming on the channel, even for us for a few minutes.
So, hold on a second. Where did I leave off? My bad.
Oh, you're talking about Europe and the church?
Okay, cool. Sounds good. All right, thank you. So then, he's using this excuse because it's based on the curses. Okay, so he's basically insinuating that Europeans came and enslaved black folks, right, and implemented all their concepts upon them. Now, so then I wonder, when I think about well, that can't really happen, because we know that in 1492 it wasn't just the white man that showed up to this land. It was swarthy looking people. It was dark-skinned people. It was such a thing called Negro conquistadors.
Yeah.
There was Negro conquistadors that came in 1492, and there's hundreds of African people that came with the Spaniard, helped them conquer our lands. And as a matter of fact, and I can say this freely without being unsure of myself, because it's proven in documentation that smallpox was also brought by West African people to our continent. And it decimated Mexico predominantly, bro. It decimated most of our land. So now we can sincerely talk about the details in regards to the so-called curses that supposedly don't apply to. And again, I'm not saying that we are European to quote unquote Europeans, because they're labeling us that by him making that statement. But then I go back and say, wait a minute, hold on a second. You were conquistadors. So now, let's pause for a moment, because he said it's not a European thing. I also know that these individuals that believe they're Hebrews, right? They also claim they ruled Europe, which means that they say that they ruled a white man for more than 700 years, from 711 AD all the way through 1400 until they got kicked out. So then I go back and say, okay, sounds good then. So then if you say that you're the people of the Bible, then how the hell could you rule the white man? That would mean that you knew English, Spanish, French, Dutch, German, I don't know, Russian, Prussian, whatever other language, and French, by the way, and Portuguese, also. So the Bible says that these people that would be enslaved wouldn't even know their language. It would be foreign to them and their fathers. And it says that those people would be the ones getting smallpox, invaded, taken lands from, language you didn't know. I'm sorry. So if you really want to be detailed about the Bible, then you need to answer those questions, because from what I understand, it doesn't apply to them. I mean, hopefully I didn't long-winded on that, but
No,
he was asking.
I get periodically. I get a lot of it. As of lately, I've been getting a lot of it. Like right now, the guy Black Knight, all he says is the Moors.
Yeah, you know what Moors means? They're Phoenicians. You know what Phoenicians are? Philistines. You know what Philistines are? Hamitic. So you're claiming to be a Hamite. So so Moors, when they bring out Moors, they're bringing the Bible. This is what I've been saying since 2022. Our Hinta did not know that they were going to implement this shit. And I've been saying it, that Black Hebrew Israelites, FBA, or Wabos, these natives, that these African Americans or West African Americans that think that they are natives, that they were going to start kind of like mixing it all up, and then eventually bringing the Bible into the picture. So when I was sharing these things, our gente were like, "Nah, you're full of shit." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." And now it's in your face. It's literally right here. They're on your channel, which you have really nothing to do with that topic.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We just listen to music. We bullshit, listen to
Right.
music. But they want to come at somebody that's not as intelligent as you, as far as the
As simple-minded as
topic.
we are by looking at logic. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's just very simple, bro. It's not complicated. You don't have to be smart to figure it out.
But see, somebody like me that's never.
By the way, I might have came across like kind of rude on that. I apologize, brother, if you catch this live. I didn't mean to come across like that. Sometimes I just kind of answer real quickly and stuff. Hold on. What's this guy saying? Private autonomy. Interestingly, the SF 184-81 form is the ethnicity and race form. It says specific instructions. The two questions below are designated to identify your ethnicity and race. Regardless of your answer to the question one, go to two. Question one, are you Hispanic or Latino? The person Cuban, Yeah. Well, I honestly, frankly, don't know about that form. I'm a so-called naturalized citizen. But I'll look into it. Why do they separate us on that form? Yeah, pretty true, bro. It's a good question. You are a Hispanic. Well, because you want to know something here, I'll tell you why. I'm going to share this with you. I don't know if you're new to the channel. If you are, please subscribe, man. I think you'll like the content. We do bring up biblical, teachings here too, and because we're literally like in here, whether we want to admit it or not. I'll tell you why they do that, brother. I'll tell you why they do that, okay? That's a great question, bro. They do it, first of all, to destroy the unity or the communalism that we have had since we were born. That's something that every so-called indigenous, like Taino, Arawak, or Mexica, whatever, whichever, like, we care about our family. We care about our mothers, our dads. We care about our elders. Like, we have that unity. You know what I'm saying? But what do you do when you want to conquer somebody? You get rid of that. You get rid of your elder. You get rid of that part of who you are. So then that's why they believe in individuality. This is a country that believes in individuality. Individualism is literally capitalism. Hate to say it, but that's true, right? Watch this. Matter of fact, let me read it this way because I like the way that King James says it, but I will also change it back so we can see it a little more simpler. It says in Hosea 10:10, "It is my desire that I should chastise them, and the people shall be gathered against them when they shall bind themselves in their two furrows." If you're in farming, furrows that's what it is. You know, that little V-shaped ground where you use a plow to break ground and then, you cut through the middle. That's the furrows right there, okay? Then this is talking about the northern and southern kingdom. And Ephraim is a heifer that is taught and loveth to tread out the corn, but I shall pass over her fair neck. I will make Ephraim to ride, Judah shall plow. Right? So it seems like the two kingdoms will work together. Judah is going to be, kind of riding the direction, plowing at the same time, because together they're going to break their clods. Meaning, when you go and you want to plant a tree, specifically a tree. Let's say you want to plant a nice tree. You got to break through that ground. You got to get rid of all that clay, all of that rock stuff. Those are the clods. Now, those clods, guess what? Those clods are the separation, are the religion. It is the concept that we're not one unity. We're not one people, right? So there goes where they start sowing the division. We got to get rid of that shit. Then it says, sow yourselves in righteousness, sow to yourselves in righteousness. Sorry. Reap in mercy. Break up your fallow ground. And that's the point, bro. That's the point. If you know what a fallow ground is, you'll find out what a fallow ground is. And I'll tell you what right now. A fallow ground is exactly just that. It is ground that is dry, that is broken in pieces, in sections, a fallow ground like that. You see that? That's a fallow ground. So imagine Mexico, Salvador, Honduras, Venezuela, Colombia, Brazil. That's why he mentions break up your fallow ground, break up that separation, break up that dry brain. For it is time to seek the Lord till he come and rain righteousness upon you. This is a whole concept of being a tree. And again, you know, scripturally speaking, man, that's what the Bible always talks about. I see men as trees walking. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a priest. I didn't go to no, school of thought. I didn't go to no university of theology. I didn't. The Most High just gave me this. Then the brother goes, underneath that, they have a racial category and definition of the category. You can open up the form and show it briefly. Yeah, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Hold on. Let me see. That's a good point. Matter of fact, that's a good point. I don't mind learning, bro. I never heard of this form. So it's the FS 181. FS 181. Hold on. Form. So it's a fillable form, right? Let's check it out right here. This is what he's talking about. So this form right here, right underneath, they have a racial category right there. Maybe, and the brother said that in his time. So this has to be updated now. You know what I mean? He could have meant at that time when he was, because he's got me probably by. He has to be around my oldest brother's age. Like at least he has to be around my older brother Chato's age. Like we call him Chato, the big dude, 6'1" dude, big ass Mexican, bro. That fool will knock your ass out, bro. I learned how to fight because of him. Let's put it that way. Let's see. That's what we're looking at right there. It says ethnicity, race, and identification, agency use, yada yada yada. You see that right there. And I think that's what you mean, right? Underneath they have a racial category definition. There it goes right there. So American Indian in Alaska, a person having origins of the original people of North and South. Whoa. Look at that. So they allow you to choose that too. You see what I'm saying? Now, me personally, I typically don't answer these questions, but the fact that it's actually giving you this description, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of North and South America, including Central, and who maintain tribal affiliation or community attachment. Well, see, that's the thing. We don't have that. And who? But, my DNA shows I'm 92% so-called native of these lands. Asians say a person having origins in the original people, Far East, yada, yada, yada. Black or African American, a person having origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa. Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, any person having origins in the original people of Hawaii, Guam, Samoa, or other Pacific Islands. White, a person having origins in any of the original people of Europe, Middle East, or North Africa. Wow. Wait a minute.
Are you?
North Africa. Now, I never knew that. Brother, you just helped me to kind of see something way freaking different. And the reason why is because I read a lot. So what stuff that I read, sometimes I don't pay attention to it. Now it's like, oh shit. Man, thank you. All I got to say is thank you, bro. Thank you for being here. You know what I mean? Like, I appreciate stuff like this. This is important. This is powerful because at the same time, we're both learning, bro. No one's above understanding. We're all, and this is why I apologize, bro. I don't want to come across like I'm some fucking know-it-all. What I meant to say was, bro, I'm a dumbass. You know what I'm saying? I was one sofa away from being homeless, a long time ago, thank God, right? More than 20 years ago. So that's kind of what I meant. Like, so I don't know a lot, but what I do know, I know very well. Let's go.
Never really studied and I only know bits and pieces of things. And then when I do, something does catch my ears, I'll go look at it like I did about California.
Right. Oh yeah,
One day I
Califa.
got a bugger mask. I wanted to know what California, where the name came from. So I read about it. I had to do a report on it. I did a report, a research paper.
Yeah,
Then I
it
learned
was a
what it's
novel from
about.
the Spaniards. They call it Amadis de Califas or some shit. From like
Spaniard,
1470 something.
Spaniard or something.
Right.
Spaniard.
Yeah. Esplandiar or some stuff
Yeah.
like that.
And that, so when people later on, people started talking about California was named after an African queen, I was like, huh? What the fuck you talking about? That was a made up queen. It was fictional, like, and it was made by a Spaniard. You know what I mean? See, me not knowing the difference when I was younger, I used to think Los Angeles, Santa Monica, all these cities that are named got a Spanish background, right? But I thought it was a Mexicano background. So I was like, oh, Mexicano, we named all this. But as I got older and I start to learn, then I start to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and that's and look, I don't really know how this. I mean, I guess I do know. Obviously we're on your live, and I don't like to talk about the personal experience that I went through, las cosas que yo pasé, cuando yo siento que Dios me estuvo hablando, because I think we do take that time to ask God, like we talk to him, bro, because dude, I'll say this, bro, and I said it in my channel. I used to be a bottom barrel alcoholic, brother. Like, fucking, I was one cell phone away from being homeless.
Yeah.
With kids and shit. And eventually there comes a time where you just, you need a change, bro. And the only way I found that change was through God, bro. Like, the best way that I understood him at that time, way before I even got into the Bible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then eventually, a couple years later, something led me to this and woke me up to that. And then, that's why now I'm here. But I was a 0.94 GPA student, dude, in high school. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah. It's a
So it
miracle.
wasn't like
bro.
you
Let's put it
came
that way.
out brain smart, you know what I mean? You had to teach yourself.
Yeah.
But that shows the passion that you have for it.
Well, like you, right? You're going to college trying to get your degree, you know what I'm saying? The same concept.
Yeah, I'm tired of being stupid.
Right. Yeah, whatever grew within you that you like, man, I want to do this. And
yeah, I want to prove it to myself that I could do it. You know what I mean? That's why I'm doing it. More than anything else, and I want to prove to myself that I can go to school. I could have learned. I could have did things if I would have just put my mind to it. You know what I mean? Show other people they can do it if I can do it.
Yep.
So the guy says black Afro Latinos has beaten Spain to help fight for your independence, and y'all turned and hung him.
Hold on, let me read that. Black Afro Latinos. So see, even in that concept, he's expressing who he is. So he says Black Afro, not Latinos. Change that T to a D. Brothers and sisters, look up a word called Ladino. Like, look it up, and you'll find out that he's actually expressing what I've been saying. Black Afro Latinos, meaning that you have an African heritage with a Castellano experience. That's what it is. A Black Afro Latino has beaten Spain. You just contradicted yourself to help fight for your independence. But look, this is like, again, we can go back to this point, and that's what I was saying initially. Because I don't know, man. I don't know how to measure myself. Like, I know what I know.
Hey fam, I want to share this, and it didn't come to mind at that time, which is okay, whatever. But keep this in mind, okay? From 1500 to early, let's say 1812. Who do you think we were trying to become independent from? You think it was the Anglo? No. In Mexico? No. We were battling with people called Ladinos, Castellanos, people of Spanish origin, quote unquote. But remember, keep in mind that Spanish necessarily didn't mean white looking. You could be black looking and be a Spaniard. You could be white looking and be a Spaniard. You could look like, I don't know, like a Arab and be a Spaniard. Did you get what I'm saying? So those 300 years, he says black Afro-Latinos have beaten Spain. We understood who those Latinos were. We would call them, what did you call them? God, I can't remember the name. Something Chupillos or Chupellos or whatever. We knew that they weren't indigenous. And they were the ones that were actually, in position of power at that time. Like, that's a fact. So they know partially what the hell their history is, but at the same time, they don't want to bring it up. They give you hints that they know, but not fully embracing it towards themselves. They use that little hint to hurt you, in a sense, to confuse you, to make you think you're the fucking Spaniards. When in reality, they've been the ones doing, it's like they're projecting. Let's continue. We're almost done.
I'll say what I say the way it is and the way it's presented. And some people get offended by what I'm saying. But by you saying this stuff right here, it just shows that you're not reading history. Because it's not like undeniable. Look, I'll give you some names, bro. I'll give you some names of books that you can look up for, okay?
Well, I kind of have to disagree with you a little bit. They do read, but they only read to a certain point to hear what they want to hear, and then they stop reading.
There you go. Well, let me give him some books that he can read, okay?
Okay.
It's first one, The African Americans, Many Rivers to Cross by Henry Louis Gates Jr. Okay, so-called West African American man. Another one, Black Society in Spanish Florida, Jane Landers. Okay. Another one, Seven Myths of the Spanish Conquest by Matthew Restall. And then even the ones that they themselves bring up, bro, which is, I mean, I'm confounded by it at times. The Golden Age of the Moors by Arvin Sertima, which has been debunked with a lot of information that he brings out. But even in his debunked information, he says something that is actually true. And he shares their history with them. And it almost seems like they, like you said, it's not that they don't read. They kind of pick and choose, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Because some of the facts they come out with are not necessarily a lie, but it's only to a certain extent that what they say is partially truthful. Like it's partially truthful about California being named after a Nubian queen. But they forgot to tell you that it was a fictional novel, a fictional queen that was developed by a Spaniard. You know what I mean? So it's yes, it's partially true, but yet it's not true either.
I mean, look, there's a book, and here let me just read it to you, family. This book was published in 1839. Okay, and look, I don't bring this stuff up because I'm not like, oh, hear me, I'm so smart. No, I've been sharing this for quite some time, bro. You know, this is nothing new to me. And it's not about me being smarter than you guys or no, man. It's just the fact that this is the path that our creator took me to share to our gente. I guess maybe as defending in a way, or maybe educate. I don't know, man. That, I believe in God, bro. I believe in a creator. I believe that he has a mission for all of us. That's just my take. You know what I'm saying? So this is what he gave me. So in 1839, this book was published by Samuel George Morton. He was born in 1799, died in 1851. Okay, and he says on page 60. Hold on a second, 68. He says it very clearly because this is the narrative a lot of times where these FBAs or whoever you are that just doesn't seem to love your own heritage and wants, for some reason, insinuate that you're us. It says here, a copper colored skin has been assumed by most writers as a characteristic distinction of the Americans. It's hold on, let me make it bigger because I don't have my glasses on. By the Americans, who have been called quote unquote copper colored race. The investigation of Dr. McCullough satisfactorily proves that this designation is wholly inapplicable. Okay, like the opposite of applicable, inapplicable to the Americans as a race, meaning the indigenous gente, raza,
Yeah.
Taino, Arawak, all Mexicas, everybody, right? Why? Hold on, let me continue. And that it is more characteristic of some other or very remote nation. Do you see what it says? It says that the copper color concept doesn't apply to people here. Nah. And it's going to explain it pretty soon. It applies to somewhere else. Who typically is that? They are, okay? Humboldt declares, I'm sorry, the error has obviously arisen from the habitual, pay attention, familia. You need to know this. Because this is one thing I know for a fact. I grew up in Oceanside, in California, right? I grew up in Pozole Town. I was never gangbanging, man. I just grew up in Pozole Town. I just happened to be there. And we were right by the beach. And one thing we used to do was get oil and that, what's that ink? A couple friends of ours used to do that. The ink that you use to like cure your cuts. It was
Oh,
like iodine or some shit.
iodine. Yeah.
Yeah, we would mix it with oil so it could make us like nice and brown and shit in the summer.
Yeah.
No, watch this, watch this. And I didn't know nothing about this. We didn't know, it's just something we figured out, right? And it says, Humboldt declared, hold on, let me go back. I'm sorry. The error has obviously arisen from the habitual use among many tribes of red paint to a brown skin, which occasions a copper hue. Humboldt declared that the denomination of copper-colored men could never have originated in the equinoctial regions to designate the Americans, meaning us. In the equinoctial regions means like the center of the earth, so to speak, right? ¿Sí me entienden? All
Yeah.
right. Then it says, and I can further testify that among the individuals of many different tribes that I have come under my observation, meaning he's physically seen them, I have never seen a copper colored man. Let me repeat that. I have never seen a copper colored man. Now remember, before he said that wholly can apply to some people from another region that predominantly produces copper colored races. He's saying here, you can't say that about these people because they don't predominantly create copper colored races. Okay? So now it
Uh-huh.
says, hold on, let me start it. Humboldt declares that the denomination of copper colored man could never have originated in the equinoctial region to designate the Americans. And I can further testify that among the individuals of many different tribes that have come under my observation, I have never seen a copper colored man. Now he says, we consider, therefore, says Dr. McCullough. Now, these are scholars, bro. Like, these are educated people that are
Yeah.
physically there. It says, hold on, shit. Okay. It says that the color of the American Indian in general is brown, differing in intensity with various tribes. Let me pause right there. What does that mean, bro? You're brown,
Different colors of
differing
brown.
in intensities.
Different color of browns. Darker, light. There's all kinds of different colors. Red. Right? Correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
According
we
to the
got
various. Now, go ahead.
He says, please read Job 30 V
Job 30. Yeah, it's you know what that is? That's called.
KGV.
All right, so let me bring you guys into more attention. I'm telling you, man, they were going to try to bring this to your class, to your spot, to your genre, because they want to seem like they're smart. Job 30, Jeremiah 14:2 or whatever, Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 5. Which one is it? What other one? Oh, that's right,
He's
Genesis
talking
2,
about
7.
Songs of Solomon 1
This is what they call milk. These camps, they taught these people to like memorize those scriptures to go back to it, right? They say, oh, Job 30, he's black onto the ground. Look, here's what I'll say. For now, just ignore that because it's very easy to demolish that topic. He is somebody that just started learning about him thinking he's Hebrew. I'll say it like that. Right? So let me continue. It says, we consider, therefore, that Dr. McCullough, that the color of the American Indians in general is brown, differing in intensity with various tribes according to various localities, but that it is almost impossible to say what brown color principally resembles. Isn't that true or not?
Yeah.
He goes, the cinnamon is, in my apprehension, the nearest approach to it, though still too inaccurate for general comparison. I fully coincide in opinion with Dr. McCullough and believe with him that no epithet derivative from the color of the skin so correctly designates the Americans collectively as that of a brown race. So the whole concept, and here, okay, let me say this to you real quick before I forget. Samuel Morton, okay, was a writer that these FBAs, Wabos, Corimeo, all of these idiots used to propagandize people in believing that, you know, natives were like Africans. And I basically used the same writer to debunk their bullshit. Sorry.
Well,
I don't
he
know
has
how
a
else to put
question
it.
for you.
Go for it.
What's the derivative of brown?
What's the
Derivative of brown.
derivative of brown?
Derivative of brown. Okay, sorry about that.
Black?
Black, yeah.
No. Does he even know what derivative means?
Apparently, I don't know. He's saying,
No,
what's the
let
derivative
him
of brown?
explain it.
And then he
Let
says
him explain
black.
that. What I've noticed about certain people is that they do like, you know, like slogans and shit. They found it somewhere and it was effective. I mean, tell me what derivative means.
You hear that, Black Knight? He wants to know what you consider derivative means. He's gonna look it up on the Google.
He's going to do it.
Some guy the other day, I debunked him on something. I forget what it was about. And he said, look it up in Google. And I go, well, that's not how you fact check something like that. And he was, no, Google's 100% accurate. I was laughing my ass off. I was like, dude, like, what's wrong with you?
Look, man, all I could say is this to some of these people, bro. I think it's very obvious of who we are. And it's not even very a complicated argument or a situation where it has to be even fucking beyond stupidity. If you know what that means.
He says, question, where is the Garden of Eden? South Africa. The Garden of Eden.
Where the white people are?
He says, the question, where the Garden of Eden? South of Africa.
Wait, hold on. Wasn't he the one that's saying that North Africa was... Wait, wasn't he the one? Wait, hold on a second, bro. Make up your mind, bro. Is it North Africa or South Africa? He said earlier there was North Africa, right?
Right, he said something like that.
Hold on a second. Let me go up because I'm watching your chat. Hold on. See, I don't forget stuff, bro. Like, that's one thing. They're messing with the wrong person. Israel is in North Africa. Israel is in North... Here it goes right here. Israel is in Northeast Africa, not Europe. And then he says Eden is in South Africa? Oh, dear Jesus.
Yeah, fucking Chris says, you're Black Knight, you're blurting shit out, not making sense.
Then he says African is mother?
I guess so.
No, hold on. You mean Africa is mother?
See, the other day I was looking at the oldest bones, right?
Yeah.
The oldest bones found. The first bones that were found were in 1856. But the oldest bones found were in Africa. I believe it was East Africa. Right?
Yeah.
But it was a cousin to Homo sapiens, which means it was not a developed human being. And it did walk upright, and it was female, but there was no color back then. So when they did a generation of what this these fossils were, because that's what they were fossils, the body was full of hair. And they're trying to say if the black female was the mother of all racists. And her name was Lucy. That's what they named her, Lucy. So I know you know about it.
Yeah. Well, it just depends. It just depends on perspective. If you believe in science, you can go to the whole African theory. You know, if you believe in the Bible, then it didn't derive from. It didn't. Nothing came out of Africa. Everything started in the of the Chaldees, in Babylonian time, Mesopotamia, all of that shit, all that Assyrian, Sumerian concept. Like that's a lot of it is falsified. Everything came out of the Chaldees. Everything, and then everybody migrated out of that. So it's either you believe in science or you believe in the Bible. It's one of the two. You know what I mean? Now,
that's my thing. Is when I
let me just say this. Let me say this to you, Sonny.
Sorry.
I'm not putting you on that like, it's because I know where you're from. I'm not saying that to you. I'm saying that to people that are talking in the chat. You either believe in science or you believe in the Bible. So they want to bring science into the Bible by them saying that it all started out of Africa, if you know what I mean.
Right. But see, me, I kind of run into things where I've looked at facts and then I say, okay, well, this can't be if there's a God. There's certain things that I see that's like, this can't be if there's a God. Either you believe in God
or you don't,
or you believe in evolution, right?
Right.
So they're saying that these fossils are evolution process that turn into human beings. Well, if that's truth, then there's no God.
Right.
That's where I run into things. That's where I'm like, okay, this doesn't make sense to me. That's why
that's where I say people got to decide.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's that simple. That's why these guys that are talking about, like for example, what's his name? Black. He's still here.
Yeah, he just put a comment up.
Nah, it's all good. No, I think he's a kid. He's about he's like 35, 36. Abraham is the father of the Chaldean Black Hebrews. No, okay. So by you saying that the Chaldeans were black, that means that everybody there was black. So then by you saying that, then everybody that's there, took everybody that was black out of there? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So this goes to show that there's lack of understanding. And this is why, again, I was saying, like, I could go in different avenues with people, bro. We talked about it a little bit, bro. Like I've shared it. I'm not afraid to go to the Bible, history, or English and Spanish, books. It doesn't matter to me. But this is where it does get kind of like, this guy Abraham is the father of the Black Chaldean Hebrews. Like, where do you get that concept? Where does it say that in the Bible? See, this is where you have to ask him. Where does it say that in the Bible?
Black said agreed.
Because we know that Nimrod, was the king of Babylon, which Nimrod is a Hamite. But Abraham was not part of Nimrod. Right?
I assume. I don't know.
So, I mean, it's almost like, this is why it gets a little bit more into the sense of like, bro, like, why don't you bring some scriptures and then we can tackle it? Because with people like him, they're going to keep talking about it without Bible. There's no reference and no verses. It's just somebody told them feel that way. And again, I mean, I didn't come here to like make it seem like, oh, we're the people of the. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is, bro, like there's a history about us that we should be familiar with. And
there were
the
no
only
white
reason,
people during the Bible days from black men.
And let me say this, bro. And I think the only reason these people are on your channel is because they know and they want to be the Hebrews of the Bible. So why are they in your channel if they want to be the Hebrews of the Bible? If they are, why would they mess with you? Think about that.
It's like, what do we got to gain by lying about our history?
Thank you.
We already have it. It's already ours. It's already non-disputable. What are we going to get out of arguing with these guys about our history? It's our history.
Mhm.
But this guy says there were no white people during the Bible days. And then Nimrod was the first African warrior.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. He was a Hamitic. He was a Ham. So let's go back. Look, see now we're gonna get deep into this. Okay, now you want me to get you? Okay, I'll show you. All right, there's a book called Jubilees, family. All right, the book of Jubilees, in chapter 9 talks about the division of men. Now, when you go into the Bible and you go into Genesis, it talks about Noah, then Japheth, Ham, and Shem. After them, there's a like a branch of their lineage. Okay. Now keep in mind that he said that Nimrod was the first African warrior, and I said that Nimrod was in Ur the Chaldees, right? The Babylonians. All right. Now, here's what we understand that Jubilees talks about that. It says in Jubilees chapter 9. Can I read it? Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Jubilees, the book of Jubilees, chapter 9, verse 1 says, and Ham divided among his sons the first portion, came for Cush towards the east. Now, remember, keep in mind that since we all migrated out of the Ur of the Chaldees, okay, let me show you where the Ur of the, can I show you? Can I share my screen? No, hold on, I can't share my screen on my phone. Oh, great. Can you do me a favor, bro?
Yes, sir.
Can you look up Ur of Chaldees?
And then what am I supposed to do with it?
And on your screen, you can see a share screen.
Okay, let me look.
There's a button that says share screen, and just type in Ur, which you
So
are.
I got to go to another.
No, there's a button there that has to tell you share screen. It's got to be.
Okay, share screen.
Or anywhere near.
New layout, manage layouts.
If it gets complicated, don't worry about it, bro. I just want you know me, man. I like to show people what we're seeing. Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
share your
don't even
referral
check.
link. No.
No te preocupes. Matter of fact, dude, I'll hit tomorrow. We'll talk about it, dude. I'll show you how to mess around with that platform. It's very easy.
All right.
Let me read this then. Let me read it. So it says here, Jubilees, the book of Jubilees, chapter 9 says, and Ham divided among his sons, the first portion came forth for Cush towards the east. Cush is basically the east of Africa, okay? And to the west of him, Mizraim. That means west of him, still in Africa. And to the west of him, Put. That means west of him, still in Africa. So you could say that Put is like in North Africa, okay? And to the west of him, and to the west thereof, on the sea for Canaan. That is in West Africa. Now, if you consider chapter 10, this is where you get into a point. And matter of fact, you know what? I don't even want to go there, bro. Let me just make sure that I slow down, because I don't want to give this guy too much attention. Ham, Shem, and Japheth all black. You see, that's nonsense. So what are you saying? We're like aliens? Oh shit! This is crazy. So see,
Yeah,
you can't talk to people like
I
that.
think we gotta set up a date where we're gonna put this all out on the table and let them deal with it. You know what I mean? Let them have their say so. You know what I mean? And I'll promote it before we do. Because I know you didn't want to make a whole show with this. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't mind being here, bro. I just didn't want to, and that's why I knew like we just needed. I don't want even going to go there because it's endless, and at the same time, it's gonna get debunked.
Yeah.
Here, I'll give you one. Here, I'll show you like this. This is how easy things get debunked. Okay. let's say we're not those people of the Bible, right? Let's just say we're not, Sonny. Who cares? Fuck it. I'm still Rasta. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
I'm being real with you, bro. I don't care if I'm not a so-called Israelite. It doesn't matter to me because I can't change that shit.
Right.
If I was
we
a
are
white
who we
man,
are.
right? If I was a white man, I can't change it. If I was a Moreno, I can't change it. If I was Asian, I can't change that shit, bro. No matter what you wish you want to be, you cannot change that. But let me tell you something that cannot be changed, that can never be changed in no one's nationality, is your diet, your dietary law, what you are accustomed to. All right? Now, in Leviticus 11:22, it says, here, I'll simplify it. It says, you may eat locusts, crickets, or grasshoppers. You know what the Bible said?
Huh.
Let me read it again. Out of all the insects you can eat, you may eat locusts, crickets, or grasshoppers.
Okay.
Who eats grasshoppers, bro?
Don't Asians?
Well, you didn't know that Raza eats grasshoppers all the time?
No, I don't. I didn't know that.
Yeah, in Oaxaca, man.
I'm from a ghetto ass family, dog. We eat beans, potatoes, and eggs.
It's all good, man. It's all good. But if you think about it, no other nation has that diet. All right, now, unleavened bread. You know what unleavened bread is? Is masa.
Okay.
The Bible talks about those people eating corn.
I know that was our thing.
Right. The Bible talks about us using millstones. We use molcajetes to grind and make it in powder. The Bible talks about us making cakes. You know, it's like we don't even have to really stress over whatever comments they make. For me, this is simple stuff. I didn't want to bring this to your channel. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't mind. Like I said, I enjoy hearing stuff like this. It's my channel's pretty laid back. You got the music and stuff, but I think once a month we can do something like this, and you know, bringing some attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. Hold on. He said Israel is in the Northeast Africa, not Europe or Mexico. Didn't he just say eating was in South Africa?
Yes, he did.
Okay, so let's say so let's say Israel is in Northeast Africa, not Europe. Okay, Northeast Africa. That's not West Africa. That's not North Africa. That's not South Africa. Now, let me remind you that Africa is a fucking continent. It's not a country. So that means within Africa, there's countries, bro. There's nations. There's differentialities between how people deal with each other. I mean, if we have to really talk like this, it's just, to me. You know what? You know what I realize now, Sonny?
Huh?
Don't worry about these people, bro.
Oh, I'm not. There's nothing you can do to change it.
Yeah, it's weak-minded young men that are probably FBA told them to come to your channel to mess with you.
Yeah, they can yell and scream and kick all they want, but the facts are the facts. You can't change the facts. You know what I mean? They're trying to use that tactic. If you lie enough, people start believing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. So I ain't worried about them. But let me get back into the stealth thing.
Yeah, man, let's go back to your thing, bro. Come on.
I appreciate you. Thank you, and we'll get you back on again.
Yes, sir, my friend.
we'll promote it so we know we got people coming. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All right,
Have
a good night.
Take care of yourself. Yes, sir.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, family. So all right, that's what I wanted to show you. I got a notification, by the way, about a video that was going to get closed on Facebook. Anyways, before I go to that, I wanted to show you this, make sure that you guys can see the steps that we are taking. You know, our people are starting to communicate now. And it's not far-fetched, bro, anymore. A lot of us were raised Catholic. A lot of us believe in God. A lot of us have that in our nature. It's not awkward. It's not uncommon. It's rare to see like raza, like being atheist. Let's put it this way. It's rare. You know what I mean? So, anyways, other than that, there's this video I want to show you before you guys go. It's about an hour and 10 minutes long. Facebook took it off. Well, at least they're letting me know they're taking it off. So they gave me the chance to download it. I'm going to present it to you. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I did it on Facebook about a month and a half ago or two. I don't know if you guys saw it. All right. So let's check it out and then we'll call it a day. All right. Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all for being here, man. Please like, share, and if you're new, subscribe. This is information that needs to be passed to our brethren, bro. Don't be envious of what we are teaching. Don't be envious. Don't worry about the fact that somebody may just know a little bit more than you. Man, we got to get rid of that envy spirit. Like if your gente is doing well, fucking praise them, bro. Instead of what we were taught to be like crabs. Nah, don't knock each other down. Uplift each other, bro. We already do that shit. We only do, like, for example, we do that when it's like, oh, I'll say this. If I'm fighting with my brother, right, I'm okay with that. But if somebody else messes with him, now I'm mad. Why do we do that? Nah, man. We should always have the back of our gente. Like, stop being crabs, fam. We need to change that shit. All right, fam. We're going to start quick. We're not going to get long on this. It's just more of a pushback because I think it's time. I'm not going to really bring out scriptures today, okay? Just keep that in mind. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to be an hour on. It's 6:09. I'm going to end at 7:09 or 7:10 exactly. And again, it's really more of pushing back to towards another, these particular statements lately. Hey, good to have you here. What up, BTC? What's up, Estudiante? Good to have you here. I won't be long. Look, I'm just going to show you this real quick. This guy did a video on that guy, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's so fucking annoying, bro. Like I said yesterday, Trump has opened the door for even the slightest secrets of, I really hate those people just because of the way we look. Has nothing to do with history or anything, no confusion. Just because people told you something and now y'all went with it. Now you got Democrats, Republicans, like going this far. So, but anyways, before we go into that video, I want to start with this. I think this man makes an excellent point and it references it. So today's topic, again, I'm not going to go long, but I'm just going to, point it out for what it is, bro. From what I'm noticing, to be quite frank with you, we were pretty much aware of white folks acting this way, but the biggest races are literally, from what I'm noticing, are so-called Negroes and so-called self-proclaimed Jews, bro. It seems like it. I'm starting to like really fucking see it. Like, you guys are the most, like, for example, AIPAC funded the white nationalists. Do you understand that, family? AIPAC, like the Israelis, like the people that put money for running an election or running for Congress, running for mayor, running for Senate. They were really funding right wing. They were right wingers with Charlie Kirk. And up until the rumors came that Charlie Kirk was not going to support them, all of a sudden this happens. So when you look back and see, like, what? Okay, who's really being fucking racist, bro? You know what I'm saying? And let's go. Because I don't want to waste too much time.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat stupidity. It's not our fault that they lost their goddamn African mind. Okay? They are some of the most disrespectful people I've seen on the app. You understand what I'm saying? They disrespect Africans.
Disrespectful?
They disrespect.
Hold on. You guys are disrespectful to people that literally you don't want to be so-called African because, and by the way, Africa's not a country, it's a continent. There's so many countries within Africa. They don't all look the same. But nope, y'all Africans. Y'all racist towards them. You racist towards Weddles. You racist towards Asians. You racist towards us. We already know what to expect from the self-proclaimed Israelis, acting like they ain't white people. They were the same fucking white people, just chose to believe another religion. Let's continue.
African Americans who try to embrace their African culture. They disrespect Afro-Caribbeans. They disrespect the indigenous Americans. So fuck them. So I can teach and call them some hot glue, feather wearing motherfuckers at the same time, man. It makes me no never mind. They've crossed the line. They keep
The point, family, because you wobbles have crossed the line. The FBA, all of you guys have crossed the line. You want to claim that that's not fucking racist. Racism is also the attempting of an erasure of a nation. Do you understand that? Or they're trying to steal their heritage in every fucking angle. And honestly, fam, I'm really upset at these so-called gangster channels, these Chicano fucking podcasters and all this shit. Bro, you know, there's a lot of so-called West African American rappers that are claiming to be natives, and you motherfuckers ain't saying shit. Dice que mucha muy raza, güey. Y'all ain't saying shit to them. You got Ice Cube promoting that. You got Snoop now. You had KRS-One saying some dumb shit. Then some other motherfuckers. You guys, here, a rapper channel, gangster rapper, cholo, gangster, Chicano rap. Y'all ain't saying shit to these people, and they're literally laughing at you, claiming they're the natives and you guys are fucking Mongolian, bro. That shows weakness, bro. That shows weakness right there.
crossing the line. Look, man, I'm not gonna
hear one more time without stopping it.
Stupidity. It's not our fault that they lost their goddamn African mind. Okay? They are some of the most disrespectful people I've seen on the app. You understand what I'm saying? They disrespect Africans. They disrespect African Americans who try to embrace their African culture. They disrespect Afro-Caribbeans. They disrespect the indigenous Americans. So fuck them. So I can teach and call them some hot glue, feather wearing motherfuckers at the same time, man. It makes me no never mind. They've crossed the line. They keep crossing the line.
So I can understand that and agree that. And again, you know, you have certain channels, so-called leaning democratically, now all of a sudden want to claim that because Nikki Tricky Butt Plug Fuentes has always been a right winger, and y'all know in this channel we've never supported that piece of shit. But apparently, you know, like that that justifies people the reason to generalize all of us as if we're all pretty much that Nikki Tricky Butt Plug Fuentes. And I me personally, I'm offended by that shit. So, you know, again, racism comes in a lot of different colors, but I hate the fact that when you guys are blatantly racist and then you act like you ain't, like literally, family, I kid you not. I saw this video and I just remembered it. I don't know where it's at. But it was a I think I might see it, but it was a compilation of like different bus situations. And then there's this lady telling this, I think this Asian lady, some real fucking racist shit. And then, or this guy, and then like people kind of like push back on her because she, you know, she's West African American, so-called. And all of a sudden she's like, oh, I see, you know, y'all being white people, like, you know, racist towards a black woman. Like, oh my God, really? You were just being racist towards an Asian dude. It's crazy.
And your reaction to what you saw happening in your city after speaking up about this as long as you have over the weekend?
My reaction has been somewhat excitement, but then also, you know, you can't see this happening and not have your heart hurt for some of the people who are going to be deported. And that's for the people who are hardworking, people who have come to this country. Now, those criminals who came here, which is what Tom Homan is targeting right now, you know, we feel good about the fact that they're being taken back.
We feel good about the fact that they're being taken back. I'm sorry, man. I think it's very clear, whether you're Democratic or Republican, just common sense. This fucking trumpet man is a vile man. Bro, he said some vile shit against Somalians. Hey, Jeremias, what's up, brother? Good to have you here, dude. He said some vile shit against Somalians, bro. What are you guys talking about?
To their countries and taken out of our neighborhoods. You know, we are already dealing with high crime. And so it's good to know that someone has our back. You know, I've been listening.
You all don't.
So testing. Can you guys hear me? All right. Look, man, I'm gotten to the point, fam, where we just got to expose what it is. It's not like, oh, they're trying to steal your heritage. Fuck that shit. This is racism right here. It's like the white man, same concept, right? Remember? This is straight racism. Trying to steal the heritage and erase the history of what we went through. You're spitting on the history of what people actually did go through that you guys didn't go through.
Want me to call pretendians dumb and slow, but you keep doing dumb and slow things and it becomes very difficult. So this child of God tags me in this video and it has all these photos with supposedly these quotes from a long time ago that prove that these black folks are indigenous. And if you look, every single one of them, first of all, is from like 1790 or 18. So the first Africans arrived via the Spanish in 1526. The British.
In this channel, y'all know that because we exercise that knowledge. We actually go back to it and study it. And yeah, you're right. They didn't show up in 19 some shit. No, since Columbus came.
Bring the first Africans in 1619. That is not a mic drop to say we were here before just basic dates. But the second point, which is the more damaging point, is this. In every single one of them, these people are making a distinction between the Negroes and these natives. They're not saying the same. Some of them are quite literally asked for runaway slaves running to these tribes, which is well documented. Some of them talk about these black folks living among them as their own. Again, these people are making a distinction. We see these Native Americans and we see these black people with them.
So when you see that, hey, there's actual documentation showing that you guys are not originally from here, you've been lied to by the white man, that doesn't matter to you because you have hatred towards a particular type of people. Just like the Anglo has for us for a long time. And you're willing to just walk over that history. As a matter of fact, say, nah, they don't belong to you. It's mine. Even though none of that shit that you bring up is real. It's all paper and glue with the new little book that you created. Seriously.
No point.
This is as racist as it gets.
What are they saying? Oh, these are these black indigenous people. Like, you don't want me to call you slow, but you tag me in this like that is a mic drop. They're literally making a distinction between these black people and these native tribes. And they're saying, oh, these black people can speak their language. They live like, you don't want me to call you slow. You don't want me to say things like you're dumb. You say that's mean.
So don't call them slow. Don't call them dumb. Don't call them wabos. Call them fucking racist. Very simple. Very simple, bro. Y'all are fucking racist. You ain't no different than the white nationalists. You're just black supremacists. That's it. white supremacists, black supremacists. That's all it is. And Trump allows that shit now. So I'm glad that we're touching on it because you know what? I get tired of these videos of showing like, oh, look at these Hispanics. They voted for Trump. Blah blah blah. Like, please, man. Most of them are fucking Cubans. Okay, let's get that clear. And those people, for the most part, are European and so-called Africans. Now, this look another silly fucking. And again, this isn't Black Indian Hebrew. This okay? Let's exclude the Hebrew Israelite. Let's just say no Bible stuff, right? For a moment, the whole concept of him claiming them. That's erasure, family. This is racism. And all and for them to even use Petro, bro, one of my favorite presidents, and I follow him, and he did not say anything about Africans, güeyes. Dijo prietos pendejos, piel, güey. No dijo africanos, cabrones. Ah, fuck, let's go.
Indicative of an international understanding that Black Americans of the US and Canada are actually not part of the African diaspora.
Only the black-skinned people here, those who are ancestrally here.
As a Latino world leader who knows the demographic history of the Americas intimately, he knows where the US got all its black people.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up out of your sleep.
Black Americans really are. The United States on September 27th revoked President Urrego's visa just 4 days after his address to the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly. BBC News attributes the harsh reaction to Urrego holding a pro-Palestinian rally in New York calling upon U.S. troops to disobey direct orders from President Donald Trump, but also to the General Assembly address, which more broadly contextualized Urrego's argument.
This is why I know that this is racist as fuck, because if they really paid attention outside of their blackity blackness and shit, love for themselves, right? It's just so disgusting. They would have known and understood that this man studies Bolivar. And he understands that what statements Bolivar was talking about. As a matter of fact, Bolivar was even one of the ones that pushed back towards the north early in the mid 1800s, okay? And he made it clear differentiating between Europeans, Indigenous, Africans, and others. But see, because you're so racist, that doesn't matter to you. You just go by, oh, look, you said black. And that's enough. You cosplay his little shorts, like all just that right there. Like, oh, look, like you keep repeating it over and over and over. And guess what? When you have ignoramus and shit and racist idiots, that all this is just hatred. It's not that you love this culture because you don't know anything of it. You don't know the diet. You don't know the clothing. Like, let's really go back into the history and you'll find out that none of this pertains to you. So the only conclusion is you're hateful and you want someone else to be destroyed because you don't love your own history. And that's kind of where supremacy comes out of. You feel inferior. That's what it is. You lack substance of your own understanding. Oh, no way. Are you serious? Oh, they knock. Oh, wow. This is good. Listen, family. See, I did a class on this, but again, see, 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm showing you guys a video. YouTube gave me a notification. They said they were going to tear it down or take it down. They give me a chance to download, which is what I'm sharing with y'all, okay? Good to have you here, bro. MESHIACHA. I think that's how you say it, right? MESHIACHA. Hope so. Forgive me if I said it wrong. Let me see. Let me go back because the brother was here posting some stuff. He claims not to be African anymore. Well, you know, what can we say about that? I will tell you this, though, bro. I will say this, and this is where, you know, I don't have a problem with it, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you guys want to call yourself Issachar, like, you're that's fine with me. We don't tribe trip here. I just don't want you to call yourself Issachar because that's what the 12 tribe chart made you believe. You get what I mean? Like, because it's not necessarily that way. So that's all I want to say. But I appreciate you being here. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. I just that always reminds me of that troll chart, BHI shit. You know, like we're not all Issachar, brother. Just like not everybody. They're not Judah. First of all, they're not Judah. I want to say that first of all. Okay, they're not. So you have to wonder why they. And remember, when they show you the chart, they're at the top and you're at the bottom. Always in every single chart, Issachar is at the bottom, like a donkey, like a burro. See, psychologically and spiritually, they want you to believe that that's you, what all you are. But they never told you that the name MESHIACHA is technically anointed. So, you know what they should have told you is that that the so-called Mexicans might just be Judah. See, they never wanted you to believe that. They never wanted you to have that authority of yourself, like of yourself, not of just authority of yourself. Again, I don't disagree. You want to call yourself whatever tribe you are? Hey, by all means, please do. But please don't let it be based on BHI, because that shit. That narrative is total BS, bro. That was a dream, supposedly, that the guy had in his mind. And even that shit was debunked, you know? So, anyways, so let me see. Let me see what you got. Hold on. Very soon, all the Africans are going to claim that their chaparados is native. Some Africans are going to claim that the tacos are native to Africa. Yeah, probably. Master P does not want to be black anymore. He wants to be native. Hey, dude, I got a problem with them wanting to like appreciate our culture. Just don't say that you were the original people here. That's it. That's all. I don't got a problem with that. These Tintos think they're everything. They say they're the original Asians now. They actually say, oh, bro, shit. Watch this. I'm going to show you. Hey, and all thanks to VTC, Vicky's Town Chronicles. I chop it up with that brother a lot. And I haven't talked to him in a bit, man. I hope he's doing well. Matter of fact, let me let him know. I'm live now, bro. Sometimes you guys don't get no notifications. So he sent me a TikTok video. That right there. Oh shit. This is now when, like, you got to start wondering, like, bro, what, are you serious, bro? Like, for real? For real, yo? Like, for real, yo? Let me see. Where you at? Where is it? Oh, it just barely showed up on my Telegram. Watch this, man. This was nuts. I never knew that it was like this. I never knew. I mean, shit, bro. Like, you do not have there's nothing new under the sun with people that lose their brain cells, bro. Watch this real quick.
Creator, because you created yourself. This is us. You do not have a creator because you created yourself. You are the first. You are the source. So when they say you are God, that is because you created yourself. That's what we explain in the book. All of the children gonna know, like, damn, I created my goddamn self like this. I feel powerful. You are powerful. You are supreme. You do not have.
There you have it, family. There you have it. They are their own gods. Like, you don't have a god. Black people don't have a creator. You created yourselves. Once again, let's continue. Oh, they blocked this too. Wow. Hey, you know what though? It just proves the point. For you guys that are watching, this is for the Justice 8. You know, I was going to bring out that black mayor, the racist one that was cracking down on our people, the vendors, right, selling in the street, and how the brother got arrested. That was all racist. They had no other reason. They need to speak Spanish. Really? Today, here goes more proof.
Was my first time calling ICE. I went to McDonald's this morning. The menu screen was broken. So I was like, the menu screen is broken. And she said, do you want a number 2? I said, no, ma'am, I'm just letting you know that the menu screen is broken. She said, huh, do you want a number 2? I said, do you understand me? I said the menu screen is broken. Okay, you want a 2? Well, just pull around. So I'm like, oh my God, this lady don't understand nothing that I'm saying. So when I pull around to the window, I said, the menu screen back there is broken. She said, oh, you don't want a number 2? And I'm like, why does she keep saying number 2? I'm trying to tell her that the menu screen is broken. I said, well, let me just talk to your manager. Because now at this point, I'm just like, you really don't understand me, right? There's no miscommunication here. You don't understand English. So she says, hold on. And then this dude walks from, I was like, I'm just trying to let her know that the menu screen back there is broken. He was like, the menu screen? I said, yeah, the screen with the menu, that's food on it. I said, it's broken. He said, the menu screen? I said, oh, so you don't understand anything that I'm saying either? I said, are you a manager? I said, does anybody in here speak English? They looked at me like I was crazy. I mean, so I'm like, I said, you know what? I said, I'm gonna call ICE on you motherfuckers. I said, because there's no way that all you guys is in here working and you can't understand what I'm saying. And the only thing you keep saying is, do I want a number 2?
Who opened the
as soon as I said that, you should have seen how fast that
who opened the lines to call ICE? Right. You're doing just like the white man. You love your white daddy. You're as racist as he is. So stop this fucking cap game. I should have voted for Kamala. That's why I didn't. Listen, the moment that people didn't vote for her, it really exposed y'all too as racist people. It's funny. I don't understand why you guys all of a sudden ignore like Charleston White. Like this motherfucker is like literally walking around with his what is it called? Confederate paraphernalia.
Homie, they didn't go get nobody. They would have got all entertainers who shake their ass and pop. So it showed me that our black entertainers are puppets, and not only they puppets, nigga, they lap dogs, they bootlickers, and they hypocritical because the police shooters, wrongful convictions, women being abused. What about the sister that got killed in Mexico by her friends?
Yeah.
Homie, they never speak out on nothing until the politicians go get them during the presidential election. Why don't they ever come out during the local election? We don't even know what Beyonce sound like if she ain't singing. So they don't never talk to us other than that. Cardi B go from having sex with a pregnant baby, having sex married, to try to tell us who to vote for. Come on, so it showed me that.
But no videos on these people, right? Where you guys at? I see a lot of Africans, like literally from Africa. I don't know what part of Africa, making videos about, oh, look, black people were always correct about Trump. As if you guys weren't riding its coattail since 2016. He's no different than Kanye West, bro.
Look how beautiful I look. Look how powerful I sound. I know y'all didn't think slavery went away. The spirits of the slaves and the spirit of the slave master, it's all in me. Chicken shit Charlie. Don't give a damn. It's our history. And I embrace every aspect of American history, son. I grew up as a little boy reading it and studying it and asking questions, and I couldn't wait to play one in a movie. I wanted to be a slave master too. I wanted to be a slave master. I wanted to see what it felt like to whip a nigga across his back. Make him holler, Toby.
Yeah, I'll say that. It doesn't have, we don't have to really look far. Y'all started this shit in 2016, bro. All of a sudden, you're acting like, shut the fuck. Listen, y'all started this shit. What are you talking about, man? Charleston White, Cayenne Pepper, these bastards over here promoting that whole fucking shit right here. Here we go. Look, listen to that. It's funny, dude. Fucking racist, bro. Right. Swastika chain. I don't know. It's this guy's a nutcase. You know, that's another topic. But here he is with Nikki Tricky Fuentes right here. Butt plug. I'm not surprised, by the way. I'm not surprised. This is in 2016. He was supporting Trump. Remember, he was one of the first ones supposedly to wear that cap. Y'all forgot about that, didn't you? How convenient. It's almost like, and I forgot to fucking bring it out. It's almost like what Leo Africanus said. Very quick to ignore what you've done, but also never ever forgetful of what people might have done to you. That shit you do bring out though, like you know, you don't let people breathe off of that shit. Let's continue with.
Woo, woo, that's the sound of the police. Woo, woo, that's the tribal police. No, but for real, another one bites the dust. KRS-One is an official Pretendian. After this post, I'm about to show you this video of him talking about that Indian comes from indigo and black people, that Indians were blue-black. That's how dark they were. Yeah, yo, isn't it weird how within the past 5 years, Lil Wayne, Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar, Kevin Gates, Waka Flocka, Chris Brown, DTG, Sexy Red, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, all these fucking rappers, right, are now saying that they're the Indians when this dude used to be a proud Pan-African, straight up, right? Now he's saying that they're the Indians. Check this out.
This is where you get the word Indian from. It's not from the word indigenous. It's from the word indigo. That was the color of the people that they first saw. The original human beings were blue-black. It's preserved in Hindu art. They have like Krishna in blue and all that. But now it's now more glamorized. But back in the days, humans were blue-black. They were called indigo. And when these Western explorers came to some of these islands, what they saw was really dark-skinned people, and they called them indigos. That became Indians, or Indo. You said Indo-European.
I've been debunking this shit for quite some time, but you know what I mean?
That's all dealing with the color indigo, because that's what the original so-called black man or woman, I have to say woman, what the original black woman was, because geneticists now have realized that the entire history of humanity is in women.
Not everybody descends from one group of people.
And you know, I'm glad that he brought this up. I think it was one of his videos that I saw where he was showing other like rappers and shit supposedly saying that. And where the hell are you guys so-called Mexican rap, gangster rap? Oh, we got Chicano podcast here. Chicano podcast, you know what I'm saying? And but you guys ain't saying shit about these people, bro, at all. You're very callados, huh? You're barely badass with your own people. But when you hear people literally saying that, you are not
or I'm
natives,
capable of.
se quedan callados, güey. You see, the thing is, this right here is literally what Donald Trump has exposed. Self-proclaimed Jews and so-called Negroes supporting Trump are a bunch of racists. Literally.
Get money in America, learn English. I don't give a fuck, learn it. Learn it. You riding on the roads, learn English, motherfucker. Talk about that shit, learn English. Learn English. Learn English. Learn English. This ain't your fucking country. This ain't your fucking country. Learn English. Learn English. This ain't your fucking country. Fuck wrong with you? Fuck wrong with you, boy? You better learn English. Hey. Learn English.
And you know, maybe.
Nah, but you're still gonna blame the white man for being that way? Is that the excuse this time now? The white man made me do it. The white man made me do it. Is that what you're gonna say? I mean, shit. Look, listen to this.
I don't know what you're talking about with two-spirit people. Is this like a Native American tribe, like high smoking? Because when I think of Native American tribes talking about their spirits, I know that they used to smoke a lot. They used to do drugs. They also were cannibals who used to eat people. So I don't know if we should be taking our cues from cannibals. I don't.
First, he stabbed his victim. "You are Muslim, Muslim, Muslim," he said. I poured petrol over him. I burned him. I ate his leg right down to the white bone.
See inside, come here.
So the coffin and everything is there, but they just took the bones.
Yeah.
Wow.
Taking all the bones.
They're taking the bones.
Yeah.
How many graves destroyed, you said?
It's more than thousands.
More than 1,000 graves.
Yeah, 2,000.
She said we're cannibals and we eat people. That's what she said. It doesn't stop. Look.
You know who built these pyramids? It wasn't built by white people. It wasn't built by Mongoloid people. It was. So you really want to know who built these pyramids? It wasn't built by white people. It wasn't built by Mongoloid people. It was built by the people that's mislabeled as black or African American.
No, the Olmec or indigenous people in South America were not black, and no, it was not black Africans that built the pyramids in South America. This is Afrocentrism based on racism. And it's becoming a trend in America where extreme Afrocentrists are trying to steal the cultures, are trying to change history, are trying to eradicate ancient civilizations to try and make themselves feel better. And if you say anything about it, you're racist.
So, and you say anything about it, you're racist. No, fuck no. They're not trying to steal a culture. They're fucking racist. They're West African hateful racists that claim to be natives of these lands. Because we don't have any other problems like that with any other people of African continent. North Africans aren't acting a fool like these. East Africans aren't necessarily interested in what we do. Right? South Africa, Sub-Saharans, like Central, like they don't worry, but it's always, it's these West African Americans that claim to be our people, that have this hatred for themselves, and they hate their own kind, so they hate you because you value more. I don't know what it is. I mean, that's the only conclusion. You feel so insecure about yourselves, you want to steal somebody's heritage. When you damn well know it don't fit you, man.
These beautiful pyramids in Mexico, they were built by ancient civilizations like the Aztec and the Mayans, which are a huge part of Mexico or Latino culture. The pyramids in South America were also built by ancient civilizations. The myth and rumor that the Olmec were...
Hey, you know what, bro? Hey, listen, that has been probably, hold on, let me see, what's your name? What's your name? Stan Magallon 8574. You're new to the channel. I've never seen you here. Thank you for being here. Subscribe, brother or sister. But you made a very good, valid point. And no one's ever said that here since I've had this live. Kid you not. Like, that's one thing about me, I don't forget shit. I have like an elephant memory, right? They still can't explain why there are no pyramids in West Africa. Oh, that's juicy. You know what's even more juicier and shit? He says, I'm surprised they're not saying that that the people from India, like they're from people from India, right? I get you. They're not saying it. You know, they kind of mention it, but they don't say it. Like, you know what I mean? Because then it just completely shatters their doctrine. But again, bro, this is the main question right here. There are no pyramids in West Africa. There's no mounds. There's no pyramids. There's no concept of eating grasshopper. They don't eat tamarindo. They don't eat unleavened bread. Like, they don't do none of that. I don't know, maybe they believe like this guy that we just showed earlier, that they are their own gods. That's a great, great, great statement. Thank you.
Stick around. Came from ignorant people who don't understand that certain features do not belong to a single race. So the Olmec statues had fuller lips, they had bigger noses, and because of that, people are claiming that they are African. The paper that originally stated that the Olmec were black was retracted because there was no actual evidence of Olmec being black. The fact that people are continuously pushing this theory despite there being absolutely no physical evidence to support this statement and attempting to wipe out the history of ancient civilizations that are important to other people's cultures, all while acting like a victim, is extremely hypocritical.
It's extremely fucking racist, bro. So for you,
That's gonna hurt. Fuck that puto. Fuck that puto.
All right, so as I said before, there's two types of people that are blatantly being this, like, for example, and both of them are hiding. Like, both of them are escondidas way. Oh, we know what we did. We get reminded of all the time, though. Every 2 years, we get a Holocaust movie or a slave movie. I have this wonderful book, fam, that I'm gonna try to do like shorter videos just to kind of show you show you guys those things. And this book it'll blow your mind, man. It's a good book, so I'm gonna try to see if I can do it this week. It'll be a 30-minute take, read through, show some examples. You'll see, man. This is nothing new. So now again, we're finishing with this, transitioning to the self-proclaimed Jews.
Vargas. Hola, buenas tardes. ¿Cómo te llamas? Mi nombre es José Antonio Vargas. Soy de León, Guanajuato. Me agarraron en Wisconsin. Nos dieron maltrato. Toda esa gente que esté documentada, por favor, escóndanse, no manténganse en sus casas, porque la verdad es muy feo todo el maltrato que estamos pasando. La verdad, mujeres, niños, no importa, viejitos. De hecho, hasta un viejito se convulsionó y no hicieron nada para ayudarlo. A mí me robaron mi dinero, mi cadena de oro, me robaron mis pertenencias, mis pasaportes, todo me robaron. Y no nomás fui yo, fue mucha gente. La verdad, yo le pido esto a la presidenta, a los que fueron a la aduana, yo les dije, vayan a fijarse cómo nos tienen en realidad como unos perros. O peor que eso, cuando menos a los perros les arriman de agua y comida. A nosotros, nada, nos tuvieron 16 horas en Alejandría, amarrados. A mis amigos les dieron pollo y se lo tenían que comer, amarrados, y un racismo inmenso de parte de las personas morenas, cosa que ellos también sufrieron, de las personas, un racismo inmenso.
And he stressed this. And then an immense racism, but by black people. And he's like, surprisingly, they went through that, and yet they're doing that. Fuck no.
Because if you do that, it's gonna hurt.
Fucking Negro invaders, bro. Negro what do you call it? Conquistadors, bro. They act like they're like, oh, you Spaniards, fuck you. Y'all were the fucking Spaniards. Damn bastards. Don't forget, y'all brought smallpox over here. That's how our people fucking died. So next time you tell me about cleanness and shit, you should reflect on the goddamn mirror.
De parte de las personas morenas, cosa que ellos también sufrieron el discriminio de los americanos y aún así ellos nos trataron igual. So, por favor, hagan algo. Los que están aquí en Estados Unidos, aunque tengan 25 años, no les...
And you know what, fam? Y'all need to really realize, man, that this is literally, like the brother said earlier, one of the brothers that was posting on the channel, like this does not stop since 1492, bro. Verse 46 tells you, it says that they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder upon thy seed forever. Do you want to know something? That 2 Maccabees chapter 5, where it says about the same time Antiochus prepared his second voyage into Egypt. And then it happened that through all the city for the space of almost 40 days, they were seen horsemen running in the air and clothed of gold and armed with lances like a band of soldiers and troops of horsemen in array, encountering and running one against another. Did you guys know that we saw the same apparitions here in these lands? Like this is not a joke, fam. I've shared these books with y'all before. Matter of fact, I shared this book 2 days ago. Our gente saw this. They literally saw it. So you're seeing the curses. You're seeing the abuse. You're seeing the fact that here, verse 32, thy sons and thy daughters shall be giving unto another people. You know what? Those young men like him, he has a mom. He has a dad that they're 50, 60, 70. And they're yearning for their children, their sons or daughters. Like, I can't talk to them. And their eyes shall yet look and fail with longing for them all day long, and there shall be no might in my hand. They literally grab our gente, put them in fucking cars, throw them in some building, and none of you guys can do shit about it. If somebody just grabbed your brother-in-law or sister-in-law or sister or whatever, somebody that supposedly is not documented, there's nothing you can do at all. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what up, bro? Good to have you here. Wisdom. That's a good brother right there. Que mías, buenos días. What's up, brother? Good to have you here, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you for being here. Scary ass Tito. Never hear them doing that to the homies, cholos, picking on. Yeah, of course they, bro. It just doesn't happen. I mean, they don't even come to my channel and fucking fuck with me. That just tells you exactly who they are. I mean, think about this for a moment, family. Look, like verse 50 says this. It says, "In a nation of a fierce countenance, which is from afar, from the end of the earth, with the sign of an eagle, with a different language, with different religion, a nation of fierce countenance will not," let me just rephrase it, will not regard a person of old age, no show any favor to your young kids. Listen, when they're walking around arresting people at the store, taking them out of their cars with children in the car, they have no favor towards young. How can you grab somebody, a woman, for example, and she's crying to you, and her child is in the car, and you still want to deport her because you're getting like $1,000 of bounty hunting money, or because you earned a $30,000 bonus? This ain't happening to nobody else but us, fam. Nobody else.
No tienes que firmar, nomás te agarran y pum, te deportan. Igual a los de la calle, a toda la gente. Por favor, yo les digo a los que tengan sus familias, quédense, cuiden a sus hijos, porque la verdad a ellos no les importa si tienen hijos o no tienen hijos. La verdad.
See, that's hatred. That's racism. Oh, I'm not a racist. I can't change the way that you live. Well, technically, you did. Y'all Negroes got the power now to call ICE on so-called people that were oppressing you. Isn't that weird? Isn't that funny that you can't call ICE on the real oppressor? You can't call ICE on the white man, but you love the power the white man gives you, so you then go use it upon other people. That's called racism. And you act like you're not part of that shit. So before you go in, we can't be racist. We got no authority. Yeah, you motherfucking do. Shut up.
¿Cómo era el tipo de agentes que te detuvieron?
Oh, eran en un Uber, andan en Ubers, de ese andan caminando normal. Es más, no son agentes, son personas cazarrecompensas. Entonces, ellos no están entrenados para hacer el trabajo y hacen el trabajo lo peor.
Son muy antiprofesionales.
Exactamente, porque no tienen profesionalismo para hacer eso. Tengo yo 25 años viviendo allá y nunca en mi vida había visto cómo nos están tratando.
Good verse, bro. Appreciate it. It says Proverbs 28:5, King James Version. Evil men understand not judgment. You know, my mom's name is basically Justa. She's just, you know. So as you can imagine, I was raised that way. And this is one thing that evil people do not understand. Like, just be fucking fair. Just call things out for the way they are. But they that seek the Lord understand all things, meaning that, you know, you experience, you know, you lived a long time. You understand about empathy, sympathy, kindness, but you also understand, you know, law and order. Some people, look, I was blessed that my father had a sister up north here in the States that moved here way before my dad did. And because of her, my dad came to this country. And because of that, my dad actually was immigrated. And because of that, then my dad brought us over here, and then he was a U.S. citizen. Well, first he became a U.S. citizen, then he brought us over here. Like, some people don't have that opportunity. So I don't ever forget that. Ever. So this is where that actually talks about evil men understand not judgment. Why? Because usually these evil men, they never experience hardship. They were never in difficult situations. They don't understand empathy. They have no mercy. Exodus 23:8, it says, "And thou shalt take no gifts, for the gift blindeth the wise and perverteth the words of the righteous." And that, you know what, that's a great point, bro, because that's why I've never asked for money in this channel. I think one time I did a fundraiser for my son because he messed up his lip. That was the only time. But in regards to like asking for money, like, yo, help me out, bro. Here, Cash App and shit. Like, nah. And this is why, because I felt that if I started doing that and it was generating me money, that I may just aim my class towards what generates money. I was self-reflective. Nobody had to tell me that. I thought about it. I said, nah, I don't want to do that because I know, the ego's always in there. The ego will always be there. So you have to determine, do you want to listen to that? Or do you want to be righteous? Let's continue. That never in his life did he ever experience any of that shit. Like, what do you do with that, bro? You know what I'm saying? What do you do with that? Now we see in a picture, a bigger picture of who really was behind this winning of Trump. Let me tell you something, family. The so-called Jews proclaim, whether Democratic or Republican, they all vote. Most of them voted for Donald Trump. You want to know why? Because honestly, they really like trompetas. You guys didn't know that? So you guys were like, oh, it was Hispanics, or it was white people because they're racist. Oh, it was those Somalians that voted for Trump. Oh, it was those Asians. But none of you motherfuckers that do podcasts, that ask for money. Hey, can you guys sell me some shit? Or try to play some lotto game like, okay, everybody pitch in, we're gonna win. Like, listen, none of you guys say shit because the moment you do, they take your money away.
So do you all know this guy? His name is Stephen Miller, and he's Donald Trump's deputy chief of staff at the White House. This is the same guy that was one of the policy chief directors for Donald Trump in his first term, who engineered and drafted those detrimental anti-immigrant racist policies, executive orders around family separation, around the kids in the cages, on the stay in Mexico policy, all of those awful things that we went through in that first term, the Muslim ban. This guy is behind so many of these things. He's also the mastermind behind a lot of the executive orders that have been going on this first week of the Trump administration. He's behind the executive actions that happened last week on immigration. He's behind the executive actions that happen today around.
Every 2 years, we get a reminder of the Holocaust and slavery, right? Every 2 fucking years, we get some stupid movie about some fucking slavery that probably never happened and some fucking Holocaust bullshit that we all know that's been debunked and, rewritten again. First, they said 1 million people, then they said 2 million, then they said 3, then 6. But yet they never considered all the Polish people that were actually dying by Germany. Like, that shit don't matter, though. Right? Correct? Not. What about the gypsies? Like, that didn't matter? What about the people that were disabled? That didn't matter? No. Every 2 years we get a slavery movie requiring empathy, pushing the agenda by reparations, and then the Holocaust, so that they can go and continue to murder children and rape them and kill women and rape them in Gaza, and then have their mentality through IPAC and say, hey, right wingers, your modus operandus is to fucking push against Mexicans. Deport all Mexicans. Deport. This is what the Jews have done with their funding. IPAC supported the right wingers. They pushed against immigration. Charlie Cook was a so-called Christmas Christian supporting Israel. Then all of a sudden, the rumor is that he didn't support them no more, and then he got plugged. What a coincidence, right? Now you understand. Now you know where the hatred and fundamentals come from. Like I said before, and this is not far-fetched, family, because remember the book that I showed you guys, the Jews and the Muslims of British Columbia. So the biggest races are literally all Negroes and Jews, predominantly West African Americans, and predominantly self-proclaimed Jews of European descent. Ashkenazis, even Sephardics are in there included. We debunked them all. Because this is hatred. Hatred to the fullest. I mean, I don't know how else. I'm gonna shorten the videos because I don't want them to be too long. We're about to finish pretty soon. I'm only going an hour, family. Remember, I told you that.
Asking a lot of questions about this, and you all seem to care about it a lot. So let's see if any of you have researched anything about this issue at all. Can anyone here tell me what would happen to the illegal alien from El Salvador if he came back to the United States? Does anyone here know? Does anyone want to guess? Any of you?
He could be with his family.
What? Does any of you know the answer to the question? Legally, what would happen?
A human being said, "Hey, he could be with his family, man." I mean, because that's what he wants. He's like, he laughs at it. This is a self-proclaimed Jewish person. Supposedly, his family suffered from the Holocaust. You know the so-called famous one you get a movie from every fucking year or two. It's no different than the William Lynch letter, man. Both of them are bullshit.
If he came back here, does any of you know? Any of you? Guys, do you know the difference between a deportation order and a withholding order? Do you know the difference? Any of you? Please. Do you? And do you dispute that as an illegal alien, we have the right to deport him?
He's going through the
He went through the legal process. So I want to be very... what I'm getting from this conversation, which is educational for me, is that not one person in the media knows the difference between a deportation order and a withholding order. Is that a fair statement? You're learning about this all for the first time right now?
Trying to make people make it seem like you guys are stupid and ignorant. You don't know. Apparently, you guys don't know the difference between legal deportation and non-legal deportation. You know, like the legal deportation that he's talking about is they just grab you and don't give you no rights. And, because you're an animal. You're a savage. You know what I'm saying? Like Candace Owens, the West African American Canaanite that called us cannibals and that we smoked, I guess, I don't know, drugs or smoked bones or some shit. Yeah.
Choose to live in condos or homes or houses as far away from these kinds of gangbangers as you possibly can. If I offered any one of you a rent-free home with no taxes to pay in any of these gang neighborhoods, and I said your neighbors are MS-13 terrorists or Mexican mafia or Sinaloa cartel or Tren de Aragua, I couldn't pay you to live there. But yet you, with your coverage, are trying to force innocent Americans to have these people as their neighbors, and that one day their daughter may be abducted from their home and raped and murdered. So you're not going to get an ounce of sympathy from this administration or president.
And this is what bothers me about these disgusting people, bro. These fucking fake Jews, because Epstein, a self-proclaimed Jew, right? All the people around them, self-proclaimed Jews. We have documentation in Mexico. You were arrested for child trafficking. Matter of fact, in New York, they found things of so-called Jewish people having stuff with children. I mean, you see, we can also apply that connotation. So basically, from what we know of so-called Jewish people, you guys like fucking around with kids. You see, I can do that and generalize that with all of y'all, right? That wouldn't be fair. But again, the reason you do that and you sit in that position is because you got power and hatred, and that boils down to racism. It's no different. Y'all remember this? You guys remember this, by the way? I'm going to show this to you. Because a lot of us tend to forget, bro. A lot of us tend to forget. You're like, oh, well, it doesn't apply to me. Yeah, it does.
Que es un criminal sionista, lo digo abiertamente, él apoyó a Trump y es íntimo de Netanyahu. Entonces, cuando llegó Netanyahu a Dallas, Texas, que había un grupo de judíos o israelíes, no sé cómo se diga ya eso.
Hold on a second. Hold on. You see this right here? This self-proclaimed Jew self-proclaimed, because they're not, but you know, society accepts them as what it is today. Self-proclaimed. He supported Trump. And in their synagogues, I guarantee you, 90% of them were being told by the rabbis, vote for Trump. Because in their Talmud, they say that they can lie to the Gentiles and that's okay. So they can sit here and tell you in the media, oh yeah, we voted for Kamala. Oh my God, Kamala. And in secret, they voted for Trump. And you know something? They don't hate white people, the people like them. They don't hate Asians. They don't hate, you know, like, I don't know, Hindus. And they don't hate Negroes or West African Americans. They hate Mexicans. They hate y'all like they hate the Palestinians. That means they're racist towards you. That's why they push the agenda through IPAC to hate y'all. Because confronting us face to face, they will never do it, family, because they know who we are and they're scared of us. Let's go.
Que es un criminal sionista, lo digo abiertamente, él apoyó a Trump y es íntimo de Netanyahu. Entonces, cuando llegó Netanyahu a Dallas, Texas, que había un grupo de judíos o israelíes, no sé cómo se diga ya eso, le decían, oye, ¿por qué persigues tanto a los palestinos? Y les dice, los palestinos son para nosotros los israelíes lo que los mexicanos son para ustedes en Estados Unidos. Entonces, yo veo la palestinización, nosotros los israelíes, lo que los... ¿Y por qué persigues tanto a los palestinos? Y les dice, los palestinos son para nosotros los israelíes lo que los mexicanos son para ustedes en Estados Unidos.
That the Israelis detest Palestinians. And he says, just like how you detest Palestinians, we detest Mexicans. Just like how you see Palestinians as maggots, we look at Mexicans as maggots. So this whole bullshit by BHI, oh, these Ashkenazi Jews are against us. Now, fuck no, man. Fuck that BHI bullshit, family. That shit is funded and paid for by these goddamn hooligans here, too. And I'm so tired of people just being quiet about this.
Entonces yo veo la palestinización de los mexicanos en Estados Unidos.
Con todos los componentes.
¿Cómo?
Con todos los componentes, porque primero Estados Unidos le roba el territorio a México, después le termina de construir un muro, después los ataques xenófobos y racistas por un componente étnico y religioso también. ¿Qué falta?
What's left? They're shooting up our people across the sea. Are they not? And they're getting away with it. Check it out. Why do you keep showing up over here? I don't know why you keep showing up over here. I'm telling you to show up over here. Look what the sister says.
Okay, no, I can do that because see, colonialism operates in similar ways. Okay, no, I can do that because see, colonialism operates in similar ways no matter where. The US too has bombed Puerto Ricans. This is how it went. The US invaded Puerto Rico and they were like, this is ours now. In Vegas, for example, they kicked people out of their houses at gunpoint and bulldozed their houses. When Puerto Ricans tried to peacefully march and protest, the US police shot and killed them, including children. When Puerto Ricans tried to organize to advocate for independence, the US surveilled them, spied on them, monitored their every move. When a group of Puerto Ricans decided that the only way out was going to be armed resistance, that they were going to fight their oppressor to free Puerto Rico, the US labeled them terrorists and bombed them. I'm not trying to say that the plight of the Puerto Rican people is equal to the plight of the Palestinian people because we've never had to go through the horrors that
That's the lack of understanding from the sister here. We never had to go through. What are you talking about? 1492. They have a micro situation. We had a macro one. Okay. And again, what do I see? The biggest races. Sorry to include you here, man, because this guy, he's I think he's I don't know if he's a podcaster or a Christian guy, but he brought something up important, okay? Matter of fact, let me play it.
If you're Hispanic and you watch my channel, number one, I want to say thank you for watching my channel. Thank you for watching my content, okay? For spending your time watching my videos. If you got relatives that love Trump, love MAGA, and they're Hispanic, share this video with them. So Donald Trump's number one vacuum, his number one slurper derper, his number one meat writer, his number one TikToker, Laura Loomer, has come out on social media on June 30th to say that alligator lives matter. Now, what is she referring to? She's referring to alligator Alcatraz, the new concentration camp being built in Florida to house undocumented migrants.
Laura Loomer is a so-called self-proclaimed Jew with her ugly ass face and shit. Looks like the dude from Saw, the character from Saw. Fuck you, Israelis, bro. The hell with you, motherfuckers. God is gonna pay. You know, again, vengeance is His. I know you guys are not those people. You are Khazarites, converts. That's all you have been.
More than likely U.S. citizens. The list goes on and on. She goes on to say this, though. Laura Loomer goes on to say, the good news is alligators are guaranteed at least 65 million meals if...
This is from the same people that push a Holocaust movie every 2 years for you to feel sorry for their fucking bullshit story. People that claim that they're not white folks, they're called so-called Jews, but yet they're Polish, Lithuanians, Russians, Prussians, Germans. Fuck off. Like seriously, family, like this should not continue. And all you guys that have podcast channels and you're supposedly like, oh, remember what's his name? American Cholo? How come you don't say shit about this? Ah, that's right. Because if you push back on Israelis, so-called self-proclaimed Jews, they'll demonetize your shit. That's all you care about. I guess that's a Honduran thing, huh?
We get started now. Now, some of you might be wondering, what does 65 million refer to? 65 million is how many Hispanics live in this country today. 65 million. Not undocumented. All of them. Even the ones who are here legally. All of them. All of them. This is someone on Twitter calling for racial extermination. Seriously. This is someone on Twitter calling for the extermination of all Hispanics in this country. This...
You see what I mean? But every 2 years we get what? They're stupid, fucking fake Holocaust stories. And I am not anti-Semitic because I am a Semite and I can prove it with DNA as well. So fuck you.
Que es un criminal sionista, lo digo abiertamente, él apoyó a Trump y es íntimo de Netanyahu. Entonces, cuando llegó Netanyahu a Dallas, Texas, que había un grupo de judíos o israelíes, no sé cómo se diga ya eso, le decían, oye, ¿por qué persigues tanto a los palestinos? Y les dice, los palestinos son para nosotros los israelíes lo que los mexicanos son para ustedes en Estados Unidos. Entonces, yo veo la palestinización de los mexicanos en Estados Unidos.
Con todos los componentes.
¿Cómo?
Con todos los componentes, porque primero Estados Unidos le roba el territorio a México, después le termina de construir un muro, después los ataques xenófobos y racistas por un componente étnico y religioso también. ¿Qué falta?
Bueno, falta el último capítulo. Vamos a empezar a ver, hay que tenerlo en el escenario, una gran discriminación sobre los mexicanos. Eso a mí me queda muy claro. Y Estados Unidos, porque aquí la pureza blanca del WASP, del racismo, supremacismo, es igual que la pureza inventada de los nuevos judíos del siglo XXI, que ni son semitas. Lo digo con responsabilidad. Hoy uno llega a Tel Aviv y el 25% habla ruso. Son de origen házaro. Los házaros, lo digo también con definiciones puntuales, son mongoles centroasiáticos. No son semitas. En Estados Unidos, que es un criminal...
You can see they are the real Mongols here. That's why when you hear this type of talk, there's a purpose behind it. IPAC funded the right wing, and the right wing gained its power. And matter of fact, Trump's introduction was against Mexicans. When Mexicans send their people, they don't send their best. They don't send you. They don't send you. They don't send you. They send rapists, murderers, drug dealers, and I'm sure some are good people. The IPAC funded that piece of shit bastard. These self-proclaimed Jews have been funding the anti-immigrant, the pro-deportation for immigrants since Trump came to the picture. These Israelis have been pushing for this that long ago. Why? Because they consider this the promised land too, fam. It's no different. No different. Watch this real quick. We're almost done. Again, I said I was going to go an hour. All right, hold on.
The interview prompted Ben Shapiro to come out with an entire Nick Fuentes takedown video, pointing to all the awful aspects of the Groyper movement without an inkling of self-awareness.
They call themselves the Groypers. They are white supremacists. They hate women, Jews, Hindus, many types of Christians, brown people of a wide variety of backgrounds, blacks, America's foreign policy, and America's Constitution.
You, also you, mostly you. Look, remember, Ben Shapiro is the guy that wants to pardon the murder of George Floyd, says Palestinians like to live in open sewage, thinks the Barbie movie is feminist propaganda, and is against mass migration from people who don't share our values.
We don't want mass migration from countries that don't share our values. Right. I don't care whether they're brown, whether they're green, whether they're white. Like, it doesn't make a difference to me. If you come from a country where you are used to gigantic government services that take care of you, and you're coming here to be reliant on those government services, or you don't share American feelings about how family ought to work, or about how government ought to work, or about many of these values. I don't care if you're pulling those people from Latin America, whether you're pulling those people from like the most liberal parts of Europe, like that doesn't matter to me. The ideology of the people who are coming in matters to me.
With that level of xenophobia from the right, the question isn't how did the right turn that xenophobia on to Jewish people, but how did conservative Jews like Ben Shapiro expect it not to?
See, you ain't no different. Now check this out. I'm going to show this part, and this is what triggered it. This video here. Because, you know, like,
when he goes, my God, all these Hispanics now, they're all racist. We're not, though.
Shut the fuck up. You ain't no different. I'm not going to get into the whole video. I'm going to get to this point here. So he's like, look, this brown guy, he's over here. He's okay with being racist. Then he says, Cash Patel. Well, we already knew Cash Patel. Okay. But here's the point I want to make. This guy. This piece of shit right here.
Where it is a lie. But most notably would be, you know, the leader of like the white nationalism right now would be, I would argue, it would be Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, a Mexican. This nigga is literally a Mexican, bro.
You see that shit right there? What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean? What do you mean he's Mexican? Why, because his last name is Fuentes? Did you guys not realize that black people back in the 1700s were fucking literally, since 1492, y'all were actually the first ones carrying those last names? All of a sudden now we forgot about it. All of a sudden now we don't care about it. I must have offended some people, bro, because a lot of you fucking left. Well, good. I'm glad you guys are all fucking mad at me, man. I'm so glad you are. Anyways, I'm not interested to pity patty with this bullshit. I'm trying to point this out because this is what I wanted to show you. And they actually got the video right here. So I think this is.
You've done for them. Eventually they will hate.
Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can find it.
Aryan. He's not fully white to them, okay? So when he goes and says something they don't like, they're going to point that out. Hey, you're half Mexican. Like his sister is Mexican. She looks.
So then when are we going to embrace the fact that you both are half white? Huh? Because you ain't full West Africans. You're not full West Africans. You guys are both half white. When is that going to be okay? America has made it so convenient, huh? Now, I don't care about this. But see, this dude here, Nicky Chicky Butt Plug Fuentes, this dude is a so-called self-proclaimed, or I should say not self-proclaimed, because he doesn't claim it. He's embarrassed by it, but he is what they call a Sephardic. You know, like what Yakasha and Dirty Water was pushing and shit for some time that we're like related to them and shit. Y'all are dumb, dude. It's fucking the dumbest shit you guys ever did. Anyways, well, look.
A little more digging, and this is actually not his sister. Neither is this, who I believe is the person that the amazing Lucas is referring to. I think he believes that this is Nick Fuentes' sister. She goes by Melissa Fuentes on Instagram, but this is also not his sister. It's funny.
The other white guy with a tan, he assumes that girl is his sister, and it's not. He actually pointed her out. Watch.
No, there's some. This is Nick Fuentes'.
It's his sister right there. Okay, so check this out.
His sister right here. Now, right here, she still looks pretty Hispanic, but I don't know if it's the lighting or the way, she's put together right here. But she actually does look pretty Caucasian, just like Nick does in other settings. Here we see her again, clearly not white, like she's clearly mixed with something.
He's Sephardic.
But, the right kind of makeup, the right lighting, the right hairstyle, she could definitely pass for a white woman, no problem. Here is a picture with all of them together. So this is Nick, his mother Lauren, his sister Melissa, his father Bill. Now Bill, aka William Fuentes, he is half Mexican, half white. Some people,
again, the side that is quote unquote Mexican, are they indigenous of like this land, or are they foreigners, Europeans, Africans, or Arabs named Mexicans? Just like here in the North Americas, y'all want to call yourselves Americans, but you're not American. Like you're either European or West African, maybe North African, but you're not American from the Americas. You see what I'm saying? Neither are these piece of shits here Mexicas. None of them. Well, the mom's Italian. He's supposedly Irish. So then we need to understand who in his Mexican side is supposedly Mexican. And is it really indigenous, or are we talking about like labeled Mexican?
People say that he's actually half Jewish, which would be insane. But, it's not a lot on the internet to find here. This right here is the most concrete evidence if you want.
He's talking about, there you go, bro. Good to have you here, man. He's talking about her being mixed as if he ain't either. These African Americans, West African Americans, think they're full of like they're not, bro. It's stupid, dude.
I know what Nick Fuentes' sister.
But that's not the point. The point being is racism between the Negroes and the Jews, right? Towards certain people. Like literally, you guys really expose that shit. Even in you're like, we're not trying to be racist. You really are, because you're assuming some shit. Okay, now let's touch the point. Not only is he a white supremacist, he's a Sephardic Jew.
It looks like he's actually going to introduce her to present something in high school. So check this out.
Informative speaking. The speaker is Melissa Fuentes. Now, this may be just a rumor, but I hear her brother is devastatingly handsome.
Right. So he identifies himself as her brother.
If I were to say the word invisible and ask you what the first word that pops into your head would be, what would you say? So what have we learned?
Mix cinnamon with oats.
Mexican immigrant,
Gym
bro,
trainers don't want you to know.
He's
an immigrant, bro.
A Mexican, right? A half Mexican. And
so here's where they're like half Mexican. So what the fuck are you guys? You guys are fully African? Fuck no, y'all are white people. Just happen to have African features. It's very convenient when you can get a chance to do these things, right? Now we knew this. And this is a video that I wanted to show you guys, family. I couldn't find it. So here they're asking him, "Are you a white supremacist?" And he says, "No, I'm Mexican."
Bro, think about it. Think about it. Who is the biggest, most influential conservative person on the right? That's a male. Mexican immigrant, bro, essentially. Yeah, he was born in America, but come on, you don't get the name Fuentes.
See, you don't get the name Fuentes. As if you Negroes were not named Fuentes Garcias Bertrans in 1490 fucking 2. Get the fuck out of here, dog. Y'all are fucking full of shit.
That ain't something that goes back to the 1600s in America, 1700s in America.
Actually, it does, dumbass.
America, you know what I'm saying? And who is the biggest conservative woman? Candace Owens, a black immigrant, right? Yeah, she was also born here, but her people are from like fucking Barbados or some shit like that. You know?
Oh, I see. So because she's from Barbados, but she came from Africa. You see? This is a fucking guy, man. You people, bro. Yo, this is so fucking funny.
I'm saying, so it's like, this is insane. The white supremacist disinformation machine is being ran by brown immigrants, essentially. That's crazy. I mean,
you ain't no immigrant, motherfucker? What are you then? You ain't from here. You're an African with white bloodline and shit. See what I mean? You see the racism? You see the racism, family? oh, but we're not being racist. Because yes, you are, bro. It's like, fuck, dude, it's so funny. If you were white people, like, for example, if I was saying the exact same shit you guys are saying with that connotation, with no purpose, with no education behind your channel, like, it's just, you're just putting videos up and commentating on them. Like, nah, you really are that.
Sure, I guess Nick passes for white, but he a Mexican, bro.
That's it. You see that shit? Passes white, but you a Mexican, bro. Really? Really? So what are you? What are you? Are you an African? Are you a white? Are you European? Are you British? Are you French? Are you German? What the fuck are you then? Ah, I see. Because you play the part as being black, you think that none of that shit applies to you. The fuck out of here.
See, he's calling himself Mexican, bro.
You're right. And in this channel, we've been exposing that shit. But now, you know what? Y'all did me a favor. You finally found the video. So listen to this, family. They ask him, are you a white supremacist? He says, no, I'm Mexican.
Crazy. I mean, sure, I guess Nick passes for white, but he a Mexican, bro.
You see, I'm Mexican. My last name is Fuentes. You see what I mean, fam? This is why we talk about you convenient so-called Hispanics. Now he's going to say what he really is. Sephardic Jew.
The right lighting, the right hairstyle, she could definitely pass for a white woman, no problem. Here is a picture with all of them together. So this is Nick, his mother Lauren, his sister Melissa, his father Bill. Now Bill, aka William Fuentes, he is half Mexican, half white. Some people say that he's actually half Jewish, which would be insane.
It is true. It's totally true. If you Google and search for his sister's information, they admitted that they're Fuentes. It's actually Sephardic.
But, you know, it's not a lot on the internet to find here. This.
See how it is? You see what I'm saying? Like, they push on the, he's Mexican, he's racist. But you don't push on the Jewish side. Why? Because here it is, fam. Because y'all are grifting. Look at that. You see this grifting right here? You see? That's all you guys are. Y'all are fucking grifters, bro. You ain't no different than white grifters. You're Negro grifters, man. All you guys look for is money, bro. Money. You're using your channel to generate, cash. To push a narrative, whether hateful or not. But hey, listen, can somebody give me $2?
I recently connected with a genealogist who sent me the following information about Kristi Noem's family, and the genealogist sent me receipts. This is the official federal land patent record of Kristi Noem's Norwegian great-grandfather. Because in 1901, he received a 160-acre Homestead Act land grant. And the location of that parcel? Well, it was inside the boundaries of the Sisseton-Wahpeton Native Reservation, on land that had been seized by the U.S. government in 1891 and opened up to white settlers shortly after that. Newspapers from that time, including this one from 1892 in the St. Paul Globe, literally described the
Not just white settlers, honey. It was Negro settlers too.
Land as choice and highly sought after, and settlers rushed to claim parcels. And Noem's family? Well, they got one of them. So while Kristi has spent recent years accusing tribal nations of wrongdoing and getting banned from their lands for it, her own family history is rooted in a documented federal land appropriation from those very same nations. I recently connected with a genealogist who sent me the following information about
Bro, very confirmed, bro. Very, very, very confirmed. Don't even trip on that shit. That's for real, yo. For real, yo. All right, fam. I went a little bit more extra. Again, I said I would do an hour, but I'm going to do basically an hour and maybe... Hold on. Give me a second. How long is this video? Let me see. An hour and
country.
4.5 minutes. All right. After this, y'all have a good night. I'm not gonna play any music. I'm just gonna end it with what I typically end. Again, I'm gonna try to do these short videos. I'm going to try to trim them even more. Throughout the week, I will do like 30-minute videos more showing you guys different books. Okay. I'll focus on one book, show you a variety of pages regarding that book, and there'll be a specific topic. The one I have in mind is how us raza, like the Mexicas, Taínos, Arawaks, that we all went on slave ships. And proving some facts. All right. I'll do that this week. Anyways, you guys have a good night. I hope you appreciate, the, I don't know, man. It's not even a class. It's like, bro, I'm just trying to push back on these racist bastards, bro. Yeah, well, they're stealing our history. No, you're fucking racist. You fucking racist. That's what it is. It's racism. Trying to erase the heritage of other people. It's called racism. And if you say, I'm not a racist because I don't have a problem. Yeah, you do. You can call ICE on anybody that looks like me, even if we are U.S. citizens. That's how fucking crazy and racist y'all are. Good night.
With culture, and we have a right to ask whether or not all cultures are compatible with the culture of Minnesota and their Somali community as ICE is zeroing in on the Twin Cities.
They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain, and from where they came from, they got nothing. But when they come from hell, and they complain and do nothing but, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it.
You know, I'm sure there are very honorable, law-abiding, upstanding citizens and contributors from the Somali community here in the United States. But that doesn't mean we can't use our judgment, our wisdom, in analyzing the various contributions of communities and cultures. We're not going to pretend here that all cultures are of equal value or are the same. No one really believes that. No one makes individual choices on a day-to-day basis that reveals they think all cultures are the same, where they choose to live, what they choose to eat, who they choose to socialize with. It's mostly a virtue signal, and that's what you get from most politicians when it comes to this very serious conversation that needs to be had about our culture here in America. You normally get from politicians just pandering, just nonsense, just stuff like this from Minnesota's mayor.
That's not American. That's not what we are about. And we're going to do right by every single person in our cities. And so, to our Somali community, Daman Shabka, Somalied Kunul, Minnesota, Garahan, Minneapolis, Waan, Ku Janilahai, Waan, Ku Gereb, Taganahan.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey. I would be curious, I don't know Somali, if that's a little bit like Jill Biden saying she likes tacos. I don't know, because it's in Somali. I speak English because I live in America. And that's the point. This is a country with a culture, and we have a right to ask whether or not all cultures are compatible with the culture of America.
Business, a bar nonetheless, and running on hate. Old State Saloon, a bar near Boise, Idaho, is doing just that right now. They are offering people 1 month of free beer at their establishment. Shared the following message on social media. Anyone who helps ICE identify and ultimately deport an illegal from Idaho gets free beer for 1 month at Old State Saloon. The business going as far as to say that if one person gets more than one deported, they may be eligible for months on end to get free beer. Oh wait, it gets more disgusting. The bar then goes on to offer a free beer to any undocumented immigrant that self-deports. Old State Saloon wanted the attention. Let's give it to them.
Yeah, let's give it to him.
By ICE agents who told him he had no rights after he told them he was born and raised in America. And because this teen was recording, he caught this exchange between the officers.
Yeah, starting to resist more now. We're gonna end up shooting somebody. Just remember, you can smell that too with a $30,000 ball.
HUD, you know, it's a different day. We're running new plays. The film was real bad when I came in, I'm gonna be honest. But we are giving the people that live in public housing the assurance that they will be safe. We also announced a new crime hotline, sir, that people that live in public housing, if they see criminal activity, if they see illegals living there, if they see drug trafficking, if you see it, if you hear it, report it. Don't be afraid. And so work with our Office of Inspector General. We've set up this crime hotline and also working with Christian Department of Homeland Security, making sure that everyone that lives inside of public housing is accounted for and that they are American people. And so I say that and I emphasize that to know that we prioritize American people and American people only.
All right, family, this is all I got. But listen, remember he said, if you see illegals, report them. I'm part of a homeowners association. Imagine if I said, and we have some crime going on, and I said to the homeowners association, if you see any niggers walking around our neighborhood, make sure you call the police. Now, did the word nigger apply to white people? Does the word nigger apply to Mexicans? Does the word nigger apply to Puerto Ricans? Does the word nigger apply to Cubans? Dominicans? Does the word nigger apply to Venezuelans? Does the word nigger apply to Arabs? Does the word nigger apply to Asians? Does the word nigger apply to white Jews? It doesn't, because it's a connotation. That means that supremacy has made every one of us embrace that word to automatically connect it to somebody that may look like this. That's what's called a connotation. So when this piece of shit bastard says illegals, he's not saying white illegals, black illegals, Asian illegals, Arab illegals, Jew illegals, I don't know, fuck man, French illegals. How about Hindu illegals? No. He said, if you see any illegals, make sure you call them. Once again, I'm part of a homeowners association, and I'm going to send this to them so then we can have this discussion. To what level are we going to embrace these fucking comments? Can I come to this office and say, hey, there's a high crime rate going on right now. Make sure if you see any niggers or coons, you know who I'm talking about, make sure you call the cops. You see, that ain't right. And the reason I say this is because you need to hear it. Because I'm sick of fucking hearing that shit. Now you got black people, well, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. White people with a tan that look African saying with no fucking reservation, if you see any illegals, call the hotline. That means if you see any Mexicans, call the hotline. So can we have a hotline so we can report niggers? You see, I'm being very blunt with y'all because I'm sick of hearing illegals. Because now you guys are making that connotation to my gente. You're trying to make that connotation happen. And it's not just black people, white people saying illegals. It's black people saying illegals. It's Asians saying illegals. You know what I'm saying? It's Jews saying illegals. So fuck all y'all, man. Don't give me that bullshit. You see, you can't do that no more. Can't do that no more. Right now, we're at the time where you guys have to understand, are we really going to live that way? Are we really going to be dealing with this shit? Or are we just going to be like, yo, bro, you need to stop saying that shit. You literally need to, listen, you need to stop saying that shit. So until then, hey, man, I'm not going to stop. Have a good night.
Y Cal, hijo, abre los ojos. Tu cuerpo se queda con nosotros, pero tu espíritu debe seguir.
Hey, hold on, fam. Hold on. I wanted to show you something. Sorry. It was the video that I had already downloaded. I got some videos to show you real quick. This is heavy. Thank you, bro, for sharing this.
Mix cinnamon with oats.
This is from... These are short videos, by the way. That right there. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Give me a moment. Hold on a second. Let me see if you guys can hear it. Because I can hear it. Hold on. Sound off? Give me a moment. Yeah, I can't hear it. There has to be a sound to this. See? Hold on. Let me see what the... Oh, I got it. I know what's up. Oh my God, this is so fucking... No, dude, do you guys want to go to... Do you guys prefer to be on this fucking app? This app's worse than YouTube.
Gold didn't just...
Check out the outlet that you never knew you needed, but now you can't live without. Let me show you how it works. So it goes directly...
All right, so check this out. All right, so here it goes, fam. Here it goes. So who is this guy right here? This is the same guy that's arresting our people in El Salvador, bro. He's not Honduras president. He's from El Salvador president.
The bottled water industry hates when you do this, but they can't do a damn thing.
That's the only thing I don't like about that fucking app, bro. It's BitSure, whatever.
Big retailers don't want you to have
They
this
fucking
Zoom
market
lens,
so much, dude. It's disgusting, man. This is
but
what
there's
bothers me
nothing
about
they
it.
can do to stop it.
They try to say that they're not
big
part of the
retailers
government,
don't
but they're
want you
doing
to
the
have
same
this Zoom
governmental
lens,
shit.
but there's nothing
Marketing,
they can do to stop it.
you know,
So there's this new...
Oh my God. Anyway, sorry, man. I just really, I appreciate you sending me this, but I really don't like that marketing aspect of them.
Your neighborhood, think again. I have been to Israel where ICE agents and DEA agents and other three-letter agencies train with the Israelis, and they bring those tactics back here. Won't come to your neighborhood. Think again. I have been to Israel where ICE agents and DEA agents and other three-letter agencies train with the Israelis, and they bring those tactics back here. Families are suffering every day. The oppression that we export, we bring it right back here. Look around. We are the ones suffering. Children in Gaza are suffering. Fathers, mothers, families are suffering. We bomb boats off the coast of Venezuela. We blow up Colombians in fishing boats and say, oops. If you don't think that won't come to your neighborhood, think again.
Do you guys realize what we just saw? That means that all the shit that these ICE officers are doing to you, whether you're illegal or not, it's from these Israelis. These Israelis, which is IPAC, whether you're Democratic or Republican, these fuckfaces voted for Trump. They said it in their fucking synagogues. Supposedly, but they're not even real Jews. They're self-proclaimed. Do your DNA, then we won't question it no more.
When I was 22, that was in 2000.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, we need to stop playing. No. If these people hate you, you need to be mindful.
President in American history has done more for the state of Israel than Donald Trump. We are going to train 100,000 Christian ambassadors to be ambassadors in their own country for the state of Israel, to defend Israel's brand and to combat anti-Semitism. Now, the beautiful part about this is we're partnering with Blackboard. Blackboard is the largest platform in the world, serving Harvard, Yale, all the major universities. We'll train these wonderful Christian evangelicals so that they can fulfill what I am doing.
You go train them based on your fucking scholarly bullshit, and guess what? I'm going to be training our people to understand exactly what you animals are about. You need to be destroyed. Thus saith the Lord. You are the synagogue of Satan. Zionists claiming to be chosen people. The same ones that destroy, kill, slaughter, rape, and completely pedophile children. Y'all disgusting.
For the state of Israel. Secondly, we're creating FOSS-I, an online academy to train tens of millions of evangelicals. The power of the evangelical muscle is enormous. It represents almost 1 billion people. But no one ever harnessed it. And we're doing that here. The second thing I want to announce is in our Friends of Zion Museum, we are going to build the Donald Trump exhibition. No president in American history has done more for the state of Israel than Donald Trump. And we're the ones that got President Trump elected, and we'll do it again.
Did I tell you? What did I tell you? Both Democratic and Republican so-called self-proclaimed Jews who are typically Khazars, Ashkenazis, you know what I'm saying? They voted for Trump, both democratically and Republican. While black folks and brown folks and white folks in general were pointing the finger at each other, y'all never said shit about these fuckers. Oh, that's right, because they'll demonetize your channel. Right. You don't have the huevos to say the truth, because it's always been about money with you nasty bastards.
He who defines the terms controls the debate. The media center is indeed a gift to Israel. You can use it for any event you want for the foreign ministry, etc., because we are doing this all for Israel. It's all about Israel. There's something even bigger that we are focusing on, even bigger than a great prime minister. It's called the state of Israel, the majestic state of Israel. That is not a banana republic. It's not a place. It's distinguished for the first time in history. This precious nation has the respect of virtually the entire world, with the exception of Iran.
Motherfucker, we all hate you guys. We all hate you. Every single person in this entire world hates you fucking bastards because you guys are a bunch of white people that claim to be Jews, right? Are no different than the bunch of white people that claim to be Christians. You're no different. We know since 1492 that you motherfuckers financed the slave trade. And the Anglo-Saxons followed up with it. And you guys been working together with the Africans as well. So we understand the game that you guys are playing right now. So let me say it to you, my gente, please, by all means, use your God-given right. Why do you think that God gave America the Second Amendment? Because he knew that eventually that would have to happen. Protect yourselves, protect your family. These people will come after you. They are going to come after you because that's what they want. Total domination, extermination of raza. They hate you Mexicans. I need you guys to understand that shit. They hate you as much as they hate the Palestinians. Be mindful. This is the real fucking hate. This is what I've been saying. Jacob's trouble is finally here.
And North Korea, with the exception of Syria. And that's such a compliment. My wife's made enormous sacrifices for me in leadership. And when I married her, I said, I have to be honest. There's another woman in my life. She said, what? I said, Israel. I love her so much. I have to be with her a lot.
Hold on a second, family.
Fuck that puto. Fuck that puto.
Okay, now we are officially done. Sorry, I did let that video end up a little bit before I should have, but I was trying to take care of some. All right, fam, that's all I got. Hope it was edifying. Please share, like, subscribe if you never been here before. You may not like my content. Maybe you say I'm too extreme. Maybe you say I'm too harsh. I don't know how else to put it. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know how else to express it. This is the way that I speak. This has always been the way that I talk. I'm not going to change my ways until maybe, it is my time. But all I'm doing is just trying to show our people exactly who they are. Not only just according to the Bible, bro, just according to who we are. They've been lying to us too long, fam. It's time to wake the fuck up, bro, because they're going to come after you. I mean, it's very clear. They know who you are. They didn't show up here by accident. And then yet they're still claiming to be the real Jews, bro. They don't fit none of the curses. They don't eat none of the stuff that the people of the Bible eat. Like literally, think about it. These Khazars were eating grasshoppers. These Khazars were eating corn. These Khazars were growing maize. These Khazars were like using millstones. These Khazars were wearing fringes. Really? Like, really? These Khazars got smallpox? These Khazars were invaded by a nation from afar, from the end of the earth, as quick as the eagle flieth? No, it never happened to you fucking Khazars, okay? Even in your bullshit story about 70 AD, I don't believe that applies to 70 AD. Because guess what? If you believe that Deuteronomy 28 was about 70 AD, then it just contradicts your entire chapter, because the chapter says that a nation that you never knew, that spoke another language, that had another religion, that was from the other side of the earth, would come and conquer you. So how the fuck does 70 AD relate to Deuteronomy 28 if Romans were ruling Jerusalem at that time? We're tired of your bullshit. This is real facts here. 70 AD did not ever occur to them. It never applied to them. Deuteronomy 28 is talking about you, raza, you indigenous brothers and sisters of the Americas. Listen, trust and believe. Deuteronomy 28 did not happen to nobody else but you. They took your land, they took your children, they took your name, they lend to you, now you don't lend to them. They brought smallpox, they brought religion, they brought their doctrine, and till this very day, they're still saying that you are the illegal and they are not. Good night, fam.
Yeah. Quiero pensar, pero no puedo, no. El ruido en la ciudad está consumiendo, Quieren pensar sin ni siquiera estar al mando. Tanta publicidad subliminal te está matando. Les cuesta decidir por sí mismos cuál es su mando. Publican sonrisas con el corazón llorando. Quieren brillar, pero sin tener que valerse de tener sus ideas propias. Los veo a todos igual, solo son la réplica de la imitación de una triste copia. Obedece, la vida es un suspiro y envejeces. Te dejas distraer por estupideces y pierdes el eje. Te duele por dentro, entonces te creces, pero aceptas mucho menos de lo que mereces.
¿Y quién te ha dicho a ti que no puedes pensar sobre lo que le di, sobre cómo actuar? Lucha por ser feliz sin a nadie dañar y solo así podrás brillar. ¿Y quién te ha dicho a ti que no puedes pensar sobre lo que le di, sobre cómo actuar? Lucha por ser feliz sin a nadie dañar y solo así podrás brillar. Conserva tu juicio y tu intuición, más activos que el que lucha por lo suyo y no se rinde. Yo ya sé bien cuál es mi misión, y es contarte que el mal por su propio pie pronto se extingue. No caigas bajo su control, pues por la televisión es normal que mal lo pinten. Tú mantente firme en conexión con la fuente de creación, vivirá siempre de fin de. Dios abre los ojos, dime lo que ves. A tus propios hijos matándose por billetes. Niños mueren cada 2 por 3. Pa' unos es bendición, con otros por su causa pequen. Y yo que intento ser un ser crístico, voy bendiciendo hasta los diablos. Piensan que es cierto el mensaje típico. Dicen que invento lo del engaño, y mientras lucho contra mis errores, demonios escucho, me ofrecen soluciones, pero sé que hay un ángel que quiere que mejore. Me dice haz un trabajo interno antes de que lo ignores, antes que otra vez llores y se llenen los mares de pena y de dolores, ya que en mi mente no caben. La paz no va en un sobre, somos algo importante. Nunca te revelaste y por eso no lo sabes. ¿Y quién te ha dicho a ti que no puedes pensar sobre lo que le di, sobre cómo actuar? Lucha por ser feliz sin a nadie dañar y solo así podrás brillar. ¿Y quién te ha dicho a ti que no puedes pensar sobre lo que le di, sobre cómo actuar? Lucha por ser feliz sin a nadie dañar y solo así podrás brillar.
Me desperté tan cansado, me sentía mal herido de todo lo que he pasado. No me quita lo aprendido, por dentro me he perdonado, pero casi no me olvido. Me desperté tan cansado, me sentía mal herido de todo lo que he pasado. No me quita lo aprendido, por dentro me he perdonado, pero casi no me olvido, no. Todos repiten lo que dice el referente. Discursos vacíos lejos de ser coherentes. De lo que no sabes será mejor que no inventes. Que investigues y no te dejes lavar la mente.
¿Y quién te ha dicho a ti que no puedes pensar sobre lo que le di, sobre cómo actuar? Lucha por ser feliz sin a nadie dañar y solo así podrás brillar. ¿Y quién te ha dicho a ti que no puedes pensar sobre lo que le di, sobre cómo actuar? Lucha por ser feliz sin a nadie dañar y solo así podrás brillar.
Quiero pensar, pero no puedo, no. El ruido en la ciudad está consumiendo,
Yeah, man. Respect and love from the world, nigga. Show them. You nigga on a microphone. Can't vaya si te number 15. Rock, you in the studio. Bomba, claro. qué manera sufre el alma cuando alguien se va. No hay medicina que cure esa larga enfermedad. La vitamina de la vida en esta sociedad es tan divina que por nombre tiene libertad. Libérate de la mentira que está por llegar. Mide tu orgullo antes de empezar a hablar. Cierra la puerta a quien no merezca entrar, porque hay mucho que se fue y sueña con regresar. Hablemos en silencio y así no me mentirás. El poder de la palabra muere cuando hablan de más. No me fío de oraciones que se dicen por detrás. Si me miras a los ojos no te mentiré jamás. Que besar por besar es jugar por jugar. Y vivir sin amor es vivir sin amar. Solo queda la fe, solo queda soñar. Ponte de pie, ready para luchar. Some love, I can just smoke and there are some love them. I can just smoke and there are some love. I remember no fire, no burn. Ribby day. Cali with a farmer soul, yeah. ¿De cuánto tiempo hablamos cuando hablamos de querer? Si la mitad lo malgastamos solo en comprender. ¿De qué manera es más fácil aprender? Que nacemos para ganar y morimos al perder. No puedo dejar de animarte, que cuando te caigas debes levantarte. Llegué para contarte que no todo artista muere por su arte. Traigo el honor de un humano con valor que utiliza poesía para respirar mejor. Escribo prosa para vengar al amor y recuerda aquella rosa que tiraron al contenedor. ¿Dónde se quedó el amor? Hey, que no vaya sitio, no microphone forever, never. Tell me, roll some love, I can just smoke and the light, some love them. I Rastafari my life, some love. I remember no fire, no burn, ribby day. Cali with a farmer soul, yeah. Reggae man a farmer warrior day. Not a really thing. Oh, yeah man. Y se piensa que la música es un juego, lo lleva claro, hermano. Desde España, internacional, bomba, clack, you, Lego. Not so really easy. No. Pure nigga on a microphone. Hey, tell us what. Tell us anything. Tell if I'm a Rasta feeling on my sin. Hey, more love.
Se ve tan mal cuando miras a otro lado, los fantasmas del pasado no se detendrán hasta verte derrumbado. Peores lo hemos pasado. Andaba a golpes con la tristeza, me aportó riqueza, me otorgó sabiduría, pues se dibujaba en todas mis piezas. Yo con alegría le daba color después. La aguja sigue girando, tiempo parece se burlar de mí. Dijo que sanaría esperando, pero creo que la espina aún sigue ahí. Con los dedos lo voy palpando. Cierro los puños, escapa de aquí. Agonizando, no me espera el tiempo, no voy a esperar por ti. Nuestras huellas en la orilla se han borrado por la marea. Si esas estrellas ya no brillan, las entiendo pa' que veas. Sea donde sea, bajo la tormenta o dentro de la odisea, donde arañas cubren el cielo de tela, los aviones nadan y los barcos vuelan. Hey, aunque parezca que va bien, no sabes bien si va mal. Besos que pueden doler, ojos que pueden matar. Tengo mi alma en el almacén encerrada, mi corazón está en huelga, mis sentimientos en ámbar. Gente, Calamala dijo que estaría presente. Fallaron como nunca, se fueron para siempre. Millones de razones para vengarme, pero a veces duele más actuar indiferente. Como no quieren ver a no tengo soldado fumando de su palulú, ni un conjuro de grimorio me lo salva del velorio. Pa' tener pila valorio se matan vestidos de emporio. Y yo no quiero una pistola, estoy soñando que la vida que quería me llega a tiempo. Desde que yo la vi sola, loco ando. Vino a verme cuando el sol se estaba poniendo y se dejó una pluma y se perdió en la bruma. Nunca se despidió de mí, ey. Nunca se despidió de mí, ey.
Vivo en un mundo que parece roto y sé que no, porque todo es perfecto y lo debo plasmar. Me fumo un trocolor tras otro y lo veo todo otro color. Me siento libre porque vuelvo a conectar. Mi gente sufre y no lo puedo evitar, más que dándole consejos siempre desde la humildad. Es su camino hacia la fraternidad. Solo puedo que enseñarles a respetar y amar. Con esta bendición, como no voy a aprovechar los códigos que llegan, los tenemos que aceptar. Si me reencarné fue para ayudar y no para malgastar mi tiempo en beneficio del mal. En la unión nace la fuerza y eso nos hace juntar las ganas que siempre tuvimos para iluminar a la gente que se le ocurra y la malla armonizar. Vinimos para dar fuego a la que no nos va a quemar. Oh.
Arda y por dentro la llama, no puedo contener la ras. Churruscao el corazón, el armazón no puede llegar a pesarme más. Si abro la boca, tu tumba al suelo, me muelo a diario y sobrado de gas. Escupo ristas perfectas, baladas de versos eternos, no mueren jamás. Cuando acabe mi condena, me vi muy solo y perdido. Cada vez más negra la flema, más elegante el problema, pero planté cara a todos mis enemigos. Recuperé las ganas, las fuerzas y el garbo. Dedico requiems a mis diablos, que aquí estoy vivo de milagro. Delicadas flores crecieron entre los cardos. Me dicen vienes más delgado que de costumbre. Será de tanto que he bailado en el alambre, que a tanta pena es mejor no ponerle nombre. Llevamos la música en vena, nuestra sangre.
Dicen que por las noches no
las piedras jamás, las piedras jamás, paloma. ¿Qué van a saber? ¿Qué van a saber de amores? Cucurrucucú, cucurrucucú, cucurrucucú. Paloma, ya no le llores.
Y va de nuevo mi tono. Mexicano bandido, todo el barrio prendido. Siempre ando bien juido, siempre poniendo ruido. Mexicanos al grito de guerra, yo defiendo mi tierra. No me dejo de nadie, yo cuido a los míos, mi raza se aferra. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera, yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera, yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Me voy tendido, me voy empinando mi bote. Un poco mareado por la bebida y el borlote. Me tiene hasta la riata la gente con su mitote. Pero me despreocupo, me pelan todo el garrote. Me para la chota, ya es por mi apariencia. Que hay tantos delitos, que hay tanta demencia. Yo no cargo nada, no más mi presencia. Pinche puerco joto, atente a las consecuencias. Si no topa el poli en breve nos para en la calle. No puede salir uno conmigo porque ya hay detalles. No quiere que conteste, quiere que yo solo calle. Quiere mi dinero pero que chinga su madre. A la dica este sistema nos quieren ver abajo. Pero tumbar gente, quien les dijo que es trabajo. Puro chingar al indio, váyanse mucho al carajo. Loco no me rajo, lo bueno porque
se armó la alianza más pesada del país. Todo el mundo ya conoce las rimas de estos MCs. Pa' ponerme más feliz, unos paisas de hachís. Mis paisas en el gabacho, bien truchas con la polis. Loco en Guanajuato, con los ojos bien tumbados. De cote con el quesada, rifando por todos lados. Atento si prendo un blunt en cabina cuando grabo. Represento Nuevo León, junto a mi carnal el Davo. Cuando voy pa' Jalisco, el pasado está olvidado. Con el perro de la C, bien grifo, pedo y enfiestado. Chécate mi banderón, unido como había soñado. Bien bajado ese balón, compa lefty bien bajado. Puro hip hop mexa, hasta que amanezca. Pásenme un mezcal y que no se apague la yesca. Ya saben que aquí andamos pilas pa' lo que se ofrezca. Si escribo estas rimas es pa' que se enorgullezca.
Verde marihuana, blanca cocaína, roja la sangre que escurre de una nueva herida. Yo salí de la ruina, nunca se me olvida. Con disciplina y respeto sigo en siempre la movida. Ando bien high, la vida es un freestyle. Disfruta lo que hay, vivo entre el bien y el mal, carnal. Crazy life todo el día, viendo live. Pinto tu barda con spray, lo que canto es real. Azules y rojas las sirenas que me persiguen. No suben pa' la virgen, salen todos cuando chifle. Mi barrio no lo pisen, que andamos todos grises. Maldito policía, no quiero que me revises. Prende la mota en canala o en hitter. Ando con mi flota y el dealer. Tenemos lo que se te ofrezca, tú nada más pide. Me dijo mi madre que de la envidia me cuide.
Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera, yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera, yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera.
Ya, ábranse cabrones
campeones, llegó el mexicano partiendo sin necesidad de palanca. Todos jugamos en la misma liga, yo soy titular, tú ves desde la banca. Disfruto cada cosa que me pasa, colaboro y mi carrera se levanta. El mismo cabrón que antes no tenía nada se la pasa viajando y dice que canta. Por eso me caga enfermarme de la garganta. Pero aguanta, traigo mata natural y humo de planta. 2, 3 cabrones dando lata y yo haciendo más plata. De esto la vida se trata y pa' que sepas no es barata. MC Davo los desbarata con cada escalón que sube. Yo tuve la suerte de hacerme fama en YouTube. Hay 2, 3 raperos de antaño que me bajé de su nube. Los mandé pa' su casa y de premio hasta les pagué el Uber. Si alguien me tira es porque sabe bien que domino el negocio y quiere de mi parte. No quiero darlas de grande, pero si me tiras la neta me toca humillarte. Soy capitán, llevo el estandarte. Somos muy pocos los que hacemos arte. Este flow si es de Marte, tú dale like y comparte.
México lindo y bandido, diario a Diosito le pido que me cuide a la familia si un día el cora ya no late. Estoy bendecido porque me cuidan los míos. Orgullosamente me exatamos locos de remate. Jaque mate, no hablé de volar si viene gateando. La cosa por la frontera se pone violenta, no importa el rango. Toda la raza jalándole duro, si hay algo seguro es la muerte en donde ando. Sudor y la sangre en la frente, los de alzada controlando. Se roban la atención, ya saben quiénes son. Vatos locos con sazón como el de un corridón. No quiera tomarme el pelo si ando todo pelón. Levantando la bandera, viva México cabrón.
Es el perrito de la selva. La bandera con un águila, Simón, mi tierra es esta. Me vale si mi piel o si mi acento les molesta. Acá jalan horas extras, nunca duermen la siesta. Están los que van pa'l jale y los que la viven de fiesta. Otros que en el pintón se tatúan de corazón. 3 colores en el pecho, morirían por su nación. Aunque su puto gobierno los puso en la situación de no terminar la escuela y terminar en la prisión. ¡Viva México, ladrones! ¿Qué hubo, les presidente? Ya saben que por mí policías chinguen a 20. Y ahí están mis 20 pa' la cagua. Aguas, que es tierra caliente de Chiapas hasta Chihuahua. Wow, 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 yipi-yo, yipi-yucas. Buenas, Montegreen, Aguas, Tijuas y San Lucas. San Luis Potoyes, Mataulipas, La Puebluca. Dime si o no, loco, acá tienen lo que buscas.
Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera.
Puro hip hop mexa, perros, 2023.
Ey yo, ey yo.
Somos la santa carnal.
Ey, los más chingones de la plaza.
Oye, DJ Dundeque en los scratches. Desde alzada, mi perro. No saben quién soy o sí. Oye.
Viva México, cabrones.
Y Cal, hijo, abre los ojos. Tu cuerpo se queda con nosotros, pero tu espíritu debe seguir. Busca la luz. Aléjate de las sombras. Deja que nuestro dolor sea tu fuerza. Desde aquí iluminamos tu camino. Lucha como nosotros ante esta pena tan grande. Yo soy tú. Tú eres yo. La muerte que hoy nos separa, mañana volverá a unirnos.